Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Thursday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, out on vacay, enjoying some time down in Portsmouth. We got our man Austin Ward with us, A-Ward Sports, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. A-Ward Sports, happy Thursday to you, buddy. Happy continuation, day 3 of Big Ten Media Days.
I am so glad to be back from it. I was excited to be there.
Come on, what are you talking about? You got another day today. I heard after the show you're going back to Indy.
There's no chance you'll catch me there. Today would be a lot more interesting than yesterday when I swung back through. I tapped out around 1:30 from Indianapolis. I said, I've seen enough here. Mm-hmm. Would have been nice to hear from Ohio State's primary rival and as they transition into the post-Jim Harbaugh era. So that will come later today. I think that'll be interesting. But other than that, I was relieved to be out of Indianapolis. It was a bad event. The Buckeyes were great on Tuesday, though. Got a lot of information from those 3 players, Denzel Burke, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Egbuka, and Ryan Day. Ohio State's sports information crew got pretty much everybody who wanted to get some one-on-one access, some interviews. We did had some of those on the podcast yesterday, all 4 of those guys. Sent back a ton of sound.
Which we're going to hear today.
Which we're going to get into today from those guys for 97.1, The Fan, and Morning Juice specifically. It was for this show.
Correct.
And so that part was great. Like the teams and the players, once they got there, I think they had a good time. They were insightful, engaging. But the Big Ten as a whole continues to completely botch.
Oh, what so do you mean?
How much time we have?
2 hours and 57 minutes, pal.
Well, let's start with the fact that Tony Petitti does not seem to understand his assignment ever. But they also scheduled this thing. It's supposed to be, well, let's get all the national media in here. Let's get all the networks taken care of. Let's really hype up the league. Okay. Well, maybe schedule it when it's not going head-to-head with the first day of NFL training camp. Make sure that you are well clear of the Paris Olympics, where a lot of those people are either going to be in NFL training camps or in Paris instead of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Paris of the Midwest.
On a dirt field.
Whoa. It's not dirt. It's coconut husks. All right?
So this field now in Indy, I thought, well, they had to throw something down to make sure that they could put in a pool because they did the Olympic trials there. I'm like, well, this is weird stuff. No one can figure out what it is.
What is this, Greece?
When's the real field going to be back out here? Oh, no, this is the new field. You mean this huge pile of dirt, cork, and coconut husks that's ruining everyone's shoes that are out there? This is going to be, I think, a big story. I think the Colts' first preseason game there's in 2 weeks. I think August 11th or something like that. You're going to see uniforms that just look like they're soiled.
Great.
Like the white unis are going to look
Ellie
absolutely
De La
terrible.
Cruz just sliding all over the bases.
And people are going to be like, what is this?
It's coconut husk and cork.
Why did they do this? And there's like a centimeter of turf sticking out of the top. Like, is this going to get better? I don't know.
Well, why don't you guys run around there, do a full practice? Maybe it would get better. Maybe it's got to settle a little bit.
I tried. But then Tony Petitti had me arrested. After he walked up and in the middle of recording an interview with Emeka Egbuka was like, hey, guys, how's it going?
Hey, man. Not talking to you.
It's going to be a great season.
Not talking to you right now, man.
Who are you? I thought you were a TV genius. Do you see this camera here, buddy?
It's on.
Why are you walking into this shot to talk to me? Get out of here.
Maybe he visited one of the fine breweries around Indianapolis before that.
No, they scheduled Wednesday night, the first ever Big Ten media happy hour after everyone left.
Well, they wanted to save on the barbell for the Ohio State beat that had left.
I was going to drive back. You're going to do the free beer for the first time at Sun King, and I'm not there?
What a shame. What a mockery.
Don't do it on the same day as you kick it off and Tony Petitti actually talks. But it's all staggered. They made it 3 days, and they diluted the whole product. Michigan, They weren't there to cover Ohio State on Tuesday. Normally, that's a pretty big deal. You check on the rival. There are some folks from Columbus that are still there to talk to Sharon Moore and whoever the Wolverines are bringing. I don't even know because I left. But why would you stay there for 3 days? What's the point? Oregon. So even if it's, let's set aside the national media part, the Oregon beat is like, you know what? This seems pretty stupid. Go up to Eugene, catch a flight from Portland, multiple stops to try and get to Indianapolis, Indiana for a grand total of 2 hours of access with 3 players and a coach. And they're like, we're not doing this. And the Oregon SID is like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's have an on-campus media day. Has anyone on this show ever suggested maybe having on-campus media days for the programs?
Yeah, but you're 2 hours away from Indy.
Okay, well, Oregon is not. Washington is not. USC is not. UCLA is not.
Did you know they're in Los Angeles?
I've heard. I was actually informed of that yesterday. I got a crash course in where UCLA is. Great start to day 2.
All right, so we got an awesome show lined up for you.
I thought I had 2 more hours to rant about Big Ten Media Days.
You do. I got to do this first, and then you're free to rant.
Oh, okay.
We had an awesome show lined up for you. We'll hear from some of the Buckeye players who you got to talk to at Media Days. We'll do that coming up here in our next segment. DeSean Foster had a really, really bad opening minute of his press conference, the coach at UCLA. We'll do that coming up here, top of the 7 o'clock hour. Some Buckeye football news, Ohio State roster, how much money they're worth. Ross Bjork talked to Ross Dellinger of Yahoo, being pretty transparent about how much their roster costs. We'll get into that coming up here. Football roster is also capped at 105. We already got a cheating scandal in the Olympics going on. Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda, he's going to join the program coming up here at 7:35. And then Berm, he's going to drop his infinite wisdom with us coming up at 8:35. Before we go any further, and Austin rants more about how greatly executed Big Ten Media Days, it is Thursday, the 25th day of July, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Mark the Shark.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Dr. Shark Levy?
Yes.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. Today is the 25th day of July, a mere 5 months until Christmas. Once upon a time, shooting pool was a college sport.
All right.
An intercollegiate sport.
Billiards.
The first intercollegiate billiard match was held on this date in 1860. That was before the Civil War.
10 years after Graders was founded, though.
Raiders was founded in 1850?
Yeah, sure was.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Fact check it.
They've got it on every Graders location on their under their sign. It says established 1850. Yeah,
I thought it said something like
That's probably when the first grader was born.
You're probably right.
Anyway, Harvard faced Yale. I could not find the final result from that billiard match. 1913, Pirates outfielder and future Hall of Famer Max Carey didn't have a hit against the Phillies, and yet he scored 5 runs. He reached base on an error and 4 walks.
How many of those were the Manfred man?
None. 0, Beam.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up. 1941, FDR banned sales of gasoline to Japan. The Japanese got mad. They said, hold my beer. They bombed Pearl Harbor 4.5 months later.
Seems like an overreaction.
Probably. Also, probably too soon to be making jokes about that. 1953, a subway ride in New York City rose 50% from 10 cents to 15 cents. Today, you know what it costs for a subway ride in New York today?
$2.30.
$3.75.
$2.90.
All right.
$2.90.
Seems okay.
1978, 46 years ago today, Louise Joy Brown was born in Manchester, England. She was the world's first baby to be conceived via in vitro fertilization. The first test tube baby weighed 5 pounds, 12 ounces. She is alive today, by the way, celebrating her 46th birthday today.
She United or City fan, do we know?
I don't know that, Beam. But an egg was removed from one of Louise Brown's ovaries and put in a lab dish with husband Peter Brown's sperm to form an embryo. And now it happens all the time. We've had 12 million births done that way, but that was the first one in 1978. On that same day, Pete Rose set the National League record with a hit in his 38th consecutive game.
1 ball, 1 strike. Tommy Holmes. Number 38, and they're going wild at Shea. Rose does it.
And there goes Tommy Holmes down to first base.
There is Tommy Holmes over to first base to shake his hands. They have stopped the game, and 61-year-old Tommy Holmes, who works for the New York Mets organization now in community relations, stands there, and he and Pete Rose are having their pictures taken. The crowd on their feet at Shea Stadium, and what a thrilling moment this is.
He would go on to hit in 44 straight games. 1990, Roseanne Barr sang the national anthem at the Reds-Padres game in San Diego. San Diego's a big military town, big Navy town, and the fans weren't too thrilled about her rendition of our national anthem.
Wake up.
And when she walked off, they were booing so loudly that she spit and then grabbed her crotch. That's how she responded to that.
That sounded like a pretty big crowd for a
it did.
late July regular season game against the Reds.
That was in San Diego, though. July 25th, 1992, the opening ceremonies were held for the Summer Olympics in Barcelona. These were the first games held in which professional athletes were allowed to participate. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. These were also the first games since 1972 in which every member nation of the IOC competed. 169 countries fielded teams, the most in the history of the Olympics. 1993, the movie Sleepless in Seattle opened in theaters. It starred Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
It's you.
It's me.
I saw you in the street.
Are you Annie? Yes.
You're Annie?
I'm Jonah. This is my dad. His name's Sam.
Hi, Jonah. Sam.
We better go. Shall we?
Oh, man, gets me every time.
Never seen it.
Right here. Come on.
I've never seen it.
That all was filmed on the top of the Empire State Building. 1997, Brett Favre re-signed with the Packers. 7 years, $50 million. 27 years later, we have guys making
1 year,
$50 million in 1 year. 2016, Verizon purchased Yahoo for $4.83 billion. Birthdays today. Hall of Fame basketball star Nate Thurmond, born in Akron in 1941, died in 2016. Sweetness, the great Walter Payton, would be celebrating his 70th birthday today, but we lost him 25 years ago. Matt LeBlanc, Joey on Friends, is 57. And Carolina Panthers quarterback and former Heisman winner Bryce Young is 23 today. And that's what I have for you, gentlemen, on this 25th day of July.
Good job on that, Sharky. As always, did you see Bryce Young walking into training camp?
What'd he do?
Nothing. He just looked to be like a middle schooler walking into his first day of practice.
He didn't get any taller in the offseason?
He didn't, unfortunately. One Buckeye didn't mince words on why he chose to come back to Ohio State for his senior season. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Right now we have one crash out in the Buckeye Lake area on I-70 westbound. We've got left lanes blocked just past State Route 37 and delays building in those westbound lanes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Low testosterone causes many issues, including low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor vigor and vibrancy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating low T. And if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone. We've successfully treated many men for the condition and seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're like most men with low T, within just a few weeks, your energy will return, that brain fog will disappear, your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So call us and make a true life change. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer. And sure, they're interested in a good deal. For them, not for you. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price. So don't take chances with a trade-in. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com for a free online valuation.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Rockman and Ice.
If I were the director, the owner of HBO or whatever, we're not showing any previews because I think the element of surprise is such a great thing to have.
Rockman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. We have all heard the horror stories of someone knocking on the door to offer a free roof inspection only to go up and illegally create damage to the roof in hopes of trying to push through a new roof to the insurance company. Rather than having to deal with going through the process of filing claims for vandalism, call a company that you can trust. That company is Newman Roofing. They've been working in the community for 32 years. They did my roof. They came to the house. I could trust them with my kids, with my wife, with my family, and they have built a reputation of honesty and integrity. They'll be honest with you on whether or not you need a new roof, whether it's sustained damage in recent storms, and whether there's still life left in it. They'll educate you so you understand what is happening with your roof and answer any questions like they did for me and my family. So whether you need a roof repair or replacement, call the most trusted company in Ohio. Call Newman Roofing at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Hey, Ohio! Make memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio State Fair, July 24th through August 4th. Experience the food, entertainment, animals, shopping, rides, and more. July 24th through August 4th. Tickets on sale at ohiostatefair.com.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Turning sunny this afternoon with a 20% chance of a pop-up shower. High 84. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. Going 84 on your Friday under sunny skies. Sunny and toasty on your Saturday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark here. Little Thursday edition of the program. Before we go any further, Austin, why don't you give me a number?
7.
Caller number 7 right now, 614-821-9710. You get it. For the early morning folks out there, you be caller number 7. You're going to be walking away with a pair of tickets to the Ohio State Fair, a family favorite tradition since 1850. That's the same year as Graders.
Wow.
That's right. Good for them. The fair runs through July 24th. That was yesterday through August 4th. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. Again, 614-821-9710. Caller number 7, you get into Sharky. You're going to be walking away with a pair of tickets to the Ohio State Fair. Meredith texted me yesterday. They're up in Michigan still. She goes, do you guys still have fair tickets? I said, yeah, I think I could probably procure a few. We went last year with William. He seemed to enjoy it. He was only a few months old at the time. Now I'll be walking around. I'd probably like it a little bit more this year. For sure.
And you'll like it a little bit less.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be good. What are you talking about? It's great. We love the Ohio State Fair.
You'll just be trying to track that man down. Saw him a week and a half ago.
Yep.
He does not slow down.
No, he doesn't.
I don't remember those days. You got your hands full.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's going to be reaching for that butter sculpture.
Butter cow.
Give me that.
More. That's all he does. I FaceTimed him yesterday. And he's it was pretty cool. I felt pretty good about the situation because his face lit up. Dad. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That does make you feel good.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But no, we love the Ohio State Fair. Do you have a favorite fair delicacy that you enjoy?
Let's see. No, I guess ribbon cut fries. Seems like that's the only place you can get those.
It's true. I also like that they had the malt vinegar spray bottle.
Yeah.
That needs to be a thing in every restaurant. Either
you gotta
fresh
douse
cut
them
fries.
up.
Yeah, you just gotta use the spritz bottle.
Yeah, we haven't been to a ton of fairs recently. Been a long time. I don't know if I've ever actually been to the Ohio State Fair, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, you got to get over there. It's great.
I mean, I've been through the fairgrounds.
Yeah, plenty of times.
A fair number of times.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I guess I need to add that to the agenda.
I'll live with.
I'm going to call into the radio station real quick. See if I can get some tickets.
You do it. Sure. I'm pretty sure we already have a winner, Sharky. Correct. Caller number 7, who called in? Who's the lucky winner of the pair of tickets?
It was Stephen from Columbus.
Stephen Columbus. Good job for him. He knew that he needed to be caller number 7. Yeah, you got to get over there. Do you have a favorite fair delicacy, Shark? I know that our guy Mike Bennett, his favorite would be funnel cakes. He once purchased tickets to the zoo to get a funnel cake. Funnel cake stand was closed, and then he immediately left.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I would do the same thing. That's my favorite. Number 2, a close number 2, French fries with vinegar.
That's what I just said. Yeah, I'm with you.
Elite.
Sorry, I know
you're working over there. I know.
We're like-minded.
I'll say this: sneaky good Ohio State fair food. If you go into the rotunda where they have the pork council and the beef council, dairy council. I was going to say
the council.
I was going to say the chicken council.
I think it's the farm council.
I don't think. Yes, the Ohio State Farm Council. Each one of them have their own individual arms. I was going to say the chicken council. I don't think that's a thing. It could be. Maybe it's the Ohio poultry arm.
Council.
Hammer the over on how many times we're going to say council this morning. The hard-boiled deviled eggs in the little rotunda are terrific.
What?
Terrific. They're great. They're great. That and the steak sandwiches are awesome.
Sounds like I need to go visit the council.
Yeah, you do. The Council of Elron. So you were at Ohio State Media Days. We were obviously talking about that a little bit.
They should just call it that.
Ohio State Media. Yeah, I did say Ohio State Media Days. Big Ten Media Days, where Ohio State was in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And your 3 representatives from Ohio State, Denzel Burke, Jack Sawyer, Emeka Egbuka. And here was Denzel Burke, and I thought this was pretty good about him, why he thinks it's a championship or bust season coming up here for the Buckeyes.
Just kind of put it out there just to kind of get the younger guys, the transfers, to understand that I ain't come back for no BS. We're here to win it all, and we're going to need everybody, and we got to hold each other accountable, and every game is a matchup game this year, and no matter who we're playing, and it's our job to just take them out and dominate.
He's not mincing any words.
I'm glad you played that. I didn't ask you to. That was my favorite quote from my entire time in Indy.
I listened to all of these clips, and I thought that one was the best one.
I ain't come back for no BS.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to Denzel Berman, I did later in the day, I was like, I just loved it. I want to make sure that I quote you right. Make sure you get that. I ain't come back for no BS. And he has always been, and I call him the team's truth teller.
Yeah.
That's why he was a great pick to be in Indianapolis, and he cut straight to the point on that. These veterans, when we have made jokes about how quiet the offseason has been, that's Denzel Burke is describing exactly why.
Outside of the first 6 weeks with the transfer portal and guys coming back.
But even that stuff, well, I mean, post-April.
Yeah.
Once things settle down, once the roster was in place, this team has been about its business. Mm-hmm. Denzel Burke, I think, cut right to the point on that. They're working hard. There's noise going on inside the Woody, but it's iron plates clanging around and,
dudes grunting.
Yeah, lots of grunting sounds.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is happening every day in the Woody, but they're not doing any sort of nonsense outside of that. You're knock on wood, there's a week to go until camp opens, but this is a team that has been driven and focused on one goal. And I actually we can get into this more, that the conversation is different this offseason. The natty or bust stuff, it's hard to win a national championship.
Yeah.
But I think that in some ways, Ohio State has limited itself when it has talked about, well, the first thing we have to do is we have to win the rivalry game. And then we'll worry about the Big Ten championship. And then, college football playoff after that. Of course, the Michigan game is important. Of course, the game, they want to win the rivalry in the losing streak. But in some ways, I think that singular focus on one game has in some ways hurt Ohio State by not going one game at a time and not treating every game like a matchup game. So I kind of like this newer approach. I know that it'll rub maybe some people the wrong way.
They'll change in mindset.
Yeah, but we'll see what that means. But I think that this is better. The fact that they're embracing the highest goal, that means that you would beat Michigan along the way.
Yep. Wouldn't have to.
Technically they don't have to, which I'm not. I didn't open up that door for a reason. I don't know. No one wants to hear that. But
yeah,
I think that by talking about the ultimate prize, that is a better approach to keep week by week focus or first day of training camp focus than maybe they've had in the last couple of years.
UCLA head coach DeSean Foster had about as bad as a minute as you could possibly have at Big Ten Media Days over in Indy. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching one crash out on the far east side. If you're coming in from the Buckeye Lake area, expect left lanes to be closed on I-70 westbound just past State Route 37. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here for my friends at RCD RV. Remember your favorite summer vacation as a kid? Well, I sure do, and I can tell you those memories will last forever. And there is still time to create those memories with your family when you visit the fine people at RCD RV. You can literally go anywhere in an RV. The mountains, the lake, road trip of a lifetime. RCD has over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock, something for every budget. Visit them at one of their 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Valley Ford of Columbus is proud to announce the grand opening of their new Commercial Truck Center. Centrally located off I-270, the new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center features expert sales, service, and parts for your business. Choose from over 300 commercial trucks and vans ready for delivery right now. From the area's best selection of transit vans, E-Series, Super Duty, light duty pickups, and more. It's all at Valley, including Ford E-Transit vans too. Need upfits? In-stock specialty upfits include dump and stake beds, plows, utility beds, lift gates, box and reefer bodies, and much more. The Valley Commercial Truck Team has 50-plus years of commercial sales experience and over $80 million in commercial truck inventory across all locations, with over $1 million in parts inventory at each location. I was in getting my Mustang's oil changed, and I saw some commercial trucks getting serviced at Valley Ford. They take care of you. The new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center on Kime Circle in Hilliard. Online at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Oh, yeah, and if you're not looking for a commercial truck, they've got a ton of F-150s with great financing right now. valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Keep up to date on the summer games in Paris. Hear hourly reports on ESPN Columbus by listening to the Fans HD2 or by tuning into 1460 on the AM dial.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Tired of waiting for your auto service to be completed at the dealership? Hi, this is Justin Hinderer with the Hinderer Motor Company. Let our experienced factory-trained technicians come to you in our mobile service truck. 90% of all repairs can be done at your home or office. Brakes, recalls, maintenance, it can all be done on your terms when you need us with our mobile service truck. Go to HindererMotorCompany.com and schedule mobile service today. That's HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Guys, watch us on the YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com. Type in 97.1 The Fan. Hit the search button. Our live stream will pop up. You can watch us live, or you can watch it throughout the day, which we stream all day, live and local. You can even watch our shows prepackaged that Sharky puts together. So all kinds of good stuff over there on the YouTube. You can join the chat this morning. Tito up for some reason at 4 o'clock in the morning, hopping first in the chat, of course. And then Elizabeth says, good morning, Austin and Beam. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you were at Big Ten Media Days. I know we're going to get to the story in our next segment about Jim Harbaugh and what he said. I'm just looking up on my TV screen, and I just have to laugh. Anyways.
How does he know?
Another team that
Just tell him what he said.
No, we're going to save it. We'll call that the tease. You have to wait until our next segment to figure out what weirdo Jim Harbaugh is saying in his first media appearance during training camp. With the Los Angeles Chargers. That's another team that's located in L.A. You were at Big Ten Media Days. DeSean Foster kicks off the whole day yesterday. What time was that, 11:30, 11:45?
He was at 11:30.
11:30 yesterday morning. Before we get to your reaction, while this was going on, everybody, you just take a listen to his opening statement yesterday. Because, before questions are asked, it's like, hey, thank everybody for being here. Thanks for covering the Big Ten. Thank you, Commissioner Petiti, yada, yada, whatever.
Let me add to that, Beam. So normally, coaches are very well prepared for this.
And Fickle had like a 20-minute diatribe.
That's the way most of them do it. Brett Bielema, annually, he's been coming to this event for years, fills up his whole 15 minutes without taking a question.
Yeah.
You are prepared, and he goes through and he talks about every position on the team, his excitement, maybe has an anecdote that he's been telling on the coaching circuit.
Tress did that for years too, Sharky, didn't he? I mean, where he would just basically
it's a filibuster.
He would read off the entire Ohio State roster.
Yeah, it's a filibuster because the first 15-minute session is purely made for television. They do have some reporters ask questions, but 95% of the reporters there do not want to ask their questions for this televised portion because we have an hour with them later on.
Yep.
So that's the preface. You normally have like a pretty well-rehearsed script and you talk about your football team.
Yep.
Okay? about your football team. Keep that in mind while Beam hits play on this.
I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
My skin is crawling. I watched that a couple of times yesterday. The first time I watched it, I'm like, that wasn't real. Immediately rewatched it and then listened to it again right now this morning. I can't comprehend that. I don't know what happened. And I know that he went on later in the day. I was reading an article from Scott Docterman of The Athletic, but then talked to him afterwards about, what happened in that. He said, I was going through my opening speech, and I was just like, they'd rather ask me questions than me talking to them. I know some other coaches might have gone up there, talked for 20 minutes, didn't give anything to you guys. Now, if I was talking to my UCLA guys, my UCLA beat writers, I may have talked the whole time. They asked me plenty of questions, but you guys haven't asked a lot of questions, so I thought I'd give you guys an opportunity to ask me stuff. That doesn't explain why you're giving me a geography lesson as to where the University of California, Los Angeles is located.
The assumption that, you guys don't know a lot about our football program.
Do.
We are very well aware of where it's located. So let's start with something other than we're in Los Angeles. Also, USC is there. Cool. It was a pretty big deal when you two joined the league. And Tony Petitti did mention, hey, they're in the California market, specifically Southern California,
it was
more specifically Los Angeles.
I was unaware of that before Tony Petitti mentioned that.
Yeah,
and then
it was very
DeSean
helpful.
Foster yesterday. I didn't know where they were located.
I had never heard of the Pac-12 before. That was super helpful.
Pac-12 After Dark? What's that?
That's apparently the conference that these teams that are based in Los Angeles, California, that's where they used to play.
Then I had another thought when I was watching this yesterday. I'm like, all right, well, maybe listen, I don't love speaking in front of crowds. I do this in front of a microphone. I'm talking to you, usually Bobby and Shark. Like, that's it. We talk to phone guests. There is not a live audience in front of me to, judge their reaction. Some people get spooked about that. This guy is the head coach of a football team who speaks to 100 dudes every single day and is now tasked with going out, being a part of the community, and I'm sure he does a great job with it, right? I'm sure he does.
Are you sure?
No, not really. But if I'm a UCLA fan watching that, and this is my first introduction to the conference, and I know there aren't that many out there that were probably tuning into his introductory deal at Big Ten Media Days, I'm just like, man, that's about the worst start you can possibly have.
I'd like to see him now go out to, whatever UCLA's collective is, has an event. Well, I'm really excited to be here. You all also live in Los Angeles.
Or thereabouts. It's
somewhere maybe in California.
It's a large, major metropolitan area.
And USC is also here. So he brings up their rival and it's just like, hey, we're in the same city. Cool, man. That's what you got for us?
They went 8-5 last year, beat USC. We know a lot about you.
Who's your quarterback?
Yeah.
Who did you bring?
What are we excited about?
They go into that. Every coach. I don't even have to name them. They've all I've also got 3 guys with me. Great representatives for our program. Yep. We chose Jack Sawyer, Denzel Burke, and Emeka Ibuka. They're fine human beings. I'd love for you all to meet them and hear from them. They have a lot of exciting things to say. And if you have some things you want to hear from me, I'll take some questions. If that's what he wanted, you don't have to filibuster. Go ahead. But he didn't seem prepared for that. Urban had a thing that he used to do all the time, which is he'd walk to the podium and somebody would say, well, do you have an opening statement you'd like to make? And he'd go straight to questions. Okay. You can do that too. You have a lot of options. The worst one that you can pick is trying to offer the lamest geography lesson in history.
It was bad. Yeah, it was really bad.
I mean, I hope it gets better for him.
I do too.
Maybe he's nervous. It's the first time. Pac-12 Media Days did not generally have this level of attendance, which was pretty sparsely attended by normal Big Ten Media Day standards. I'm going to stop taking shots at it eventually.
Pac-12 Media Days also didn't have coconut husks on the field.
Well, that is one pro for the league that used to exist.
USC didn't have a great day either. I'm not a big fan of Lincoln Riley. He's won a lot of Heisman trophies, has not won a game of.
But he didn't win them.
No, he has had a lot of players win Heisman trophies. He said yesterday, and this had to be during the roundtable where you get to talk to him for an hour afterwards. Connor Morissette, who covers UCLA, senior staff writer at USCFootball.com, tweeted this out. Lincoln Riley says he would love to keep the Notre Dame game alive, but he says if eliminating the game would help USC win a national championship, that they would look at it. Dude, what are you doing? Lincoln, hello, earth to you. You already had a bad offseason by saying we tried to get out of the LSU game. Well, you didn't openly say that, but there were reports that you've been trying to get out of this UCLA or LSU game for forever. And now you're saying that you would pass up on the Notre Dame game, which is their biggest game. I don't know how you compartmentalize that, but that's Notre Dame's biggest game on the schedule every year. And you're saying you would pass up on that if it's going to help you win a national championship? You said this during the break. Hello, newsflash, 12-team college football playoff. You're going to have to play tough teams to win the national championship anyways.
Also, it's maddening to me that this is his approach. Fleeing Oklahoma. Yep. Oh, no, they're going to the SEC.
Like a thief in the night.
I don't want to have to play that schedule. I might get exposed. Oh, no, I have to play LSU and a Big Ten schedule. I can't do that. I got to try and get out of this game. Oh, no, now I have to play a Big Ten schedule and Notre Dame. I got to get out of that rivalry game. Hey, Lincoln Riley, playing a Vanderbilt schedule like James Franklin and you're not trying to get to bowl eligibility. USC expects you to win a national championship. If you cannot beat Notre Dame, then don't be in the playoff and don't coach USC. Go be an offensive coordinator in the NFL.
What are these West Coast teams doing?
Embarrassing the Big Ten.
What are you doing? What are the two LA teams doing?
The same thing that they've been doing. Tripping all over themselves.
And now we just care more because it just means more to us.
Yeah, that's a great slogan. Someone should use that.
I smell a lawsuit brewing in the TV sports rights business. We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching a crash in Circleville that has 23 shut down in both directions. 23 is closed just beyond West Hudson Street because of a crash. You can use South Court Street to East Main to 23 heading northbound, or use 22 over to 104 to get around this going southbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33, or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24-month lease with $3,000 due at signing and $731.24.
Dreaming of a wedding band as unique as your love story? Join us at Diamond Cellar's Wedding Weekend, July 26th and 27th. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We've been helping you craft your love stories for over 77 years. And for one weekend only, we're offering 20% off custom designed wedding bands. We guarantee the best price and unparalleled quality. Let our expert jewelers bring your vision to life with a custom creation. The possibilities are endless. Come see us July 26th and 27th at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road.
Common Man and T-Bone.
You can count on the French, okay? That's never been said ever in battle. Ever. You can count on the French. But for the Olympics, you can't.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Come play Skyline's 75th Coney Hunt game. Use your phone to search for virtual conies, tap to collect coins, and redeem them for exclusive Skyline merchandise at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Details at SkylineChili.com/ConeyHunt.
Find great prices on summer favorites this week at Meijer. Get fresh local blueberries for $1.49 and Meijer chips 3 for $5. Plus, the 7 for $7 sale is back. Mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more. Eckrich hot dogs, Meijer ketchup, and select Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable. To round out your summer cookout, shop low Meijer prices and the 7 for $7 sale this week only. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Is foot pain keeping you from living life to its fullest? Life is too short to be dealing with foot, knee, or back pain. Come into the Good Feet store and learn how the Good Feet Heart Support System can help you get pain-free. Call 880-9255 or go to goodfeet.com to make an appointment.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. How often do you compare yourself to others? It's easy to envy friends' lives on social media when you only see the good parts. But comparison is the thief of joy. Online therapy helps you focus on what you want, not what others have, because your best life is better than the idea of someone else's. Visit betterhelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sunshine will return this afternoon. Temperatures and humidity levels will be much lower. We're looking at a high around 84 today. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. And on your Friday, look for sunny skies with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Beamer is tweeting about Formula One.
Oh, hells yes.
Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help.
This is one twisted mother.
This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky, yes. Happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. It is now officially official. TNT is out of the NBA business following next season. The NBA completed its much ballyhooed 11-year, $76 billion media rights deal yesterday. Disney, which owns ABC and ESPN, is back, along with new partners NBC and Amazon Prime Video. Warner Brothers, which owns Turner Broadcasting, claims it matched Amazon's offer and deserves to stay on, but Beamer, the NBA, says they did not match the offer.
Yeah, it's going to be a real battle in the courtroom over this. I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars. Sharky, you just mentioned it, 11 years, $76 billion. I shorted them a few dollars.
Well, maybe they shorted the NBA a few dollars.
So TNT Sports, like they're, PR firm, like everyone's got a PR firm, Twitter, like the Blue Jackets do, and like every sports page does, or TV network. Like, it's like, hey, this show got canceled. Like, that's where they post that stuff at. And they tweeted this out, said, we've matched the Amazon offer as we have a contractual right to do, and do not believe the NBA can reject it. In doing so, they're rejecting the many fans who continue to show their unwavering support for our best-in-class coverage, delivered through the full combined reach of the Warner Brothers video first distribution platforms, including TNT, home to our 4-decade partnership with the league, and Max, our leading streaming service. We think they have grossly misinterpreted our contractual rights with respect to the 25-6 season and beyond, and we're going to take appropriate action. We look forward, however, to another great season of the NBA on TNT and Max, including our iconic Inside the NBA. If they actually did match the Amazon offer in a timely manner, then the broadcast, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how any of this works. The broadcast deal, they have right of first refusal. Like, they can go in and match this. The broadcast rights would then be theirs. Amazon then would have time, I believe, to go and renegotiate and put another offer on the table, so on and so forth. deadlines would be put on this by lawyers. This is a massive lawsuit, and there will be a bunch of lawyers making a whole lot of money because this is going to be a disaster.
I think the first sentence in it is fascinating. We don't believe they have the right to reject it.
Yeah.
Clearly, the NBA, did they just do that willy-nilly? I doubt that. Like, they must, either Amazon did offer more, or the contract which is expiring, they're allowed to take whatever partnership they want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I have not read the billions of pages of contracts in there.
Yeah.
So there's no way for me to know. But I haven't. There's lawyers on both sides. I find it pretty unlikely that the NBA made that choice, like, not expecting that there could be consequences if they were doing something that they couldn't.
This also could be, too, like a get ahead for the fans of inside the NBA on TNT by saying, listen, we matched the offer. The NBA is doing what they want to do. Thanks for your loyalty. Make sure to watch the show this year. Like, I mean, I know that there's multiple strategies at play here. But, yeah, NBA on TNT apparently going away after this season. Who the heck knows what's going to happen in the contract world?
Jim Harbaugh is not at Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis with his Wolverines. He has moved on, of course, from his alma mater and is now coaching the Los Angeles Chargers, and he is as goofy as ever. You know, they say defense travels. Jim Harbaugh's goofiness travels from college to the NFL. When the Chargers camp opened yesterday, Jimbo was asked what it's like on day one. Rather than having me read his response, I'm going to let you listen to it right off the old YouTube here.
Feels like New Year's Day, you know, feels like being born. Feels like coming out of the womb, you know. It's like you're in there and it's comfortable and it's safe, and now you're out, you're born, the lights are on, it's bright, got chaos, people looking at you, people talking at you, and just feels good to have it happen.
Austin, could you describe for us what it was like? What do you remember about coming out of the womb?
Yeah, nothing. And I'm fascinated to know how Jim Harbaugh has recollections of what it was like being in the womb, where he felt so safe and comfortable and warm.
Somebody needs to ask him that question.
He has apparently the greatest memory in the history of humankind. That's a pretty traumatic experience. Like, if that's what the day one of training camp is like for the Chargers, like, that's one of the most stressful situations I think that anyone could be in.
Lights and chaos.
So I think, let me look at his Twitter account, but we usually have Breer on at, Thursdays at 8:35 or 8:05. And I know that we don't have him on today because he's out on the West Coast. So he's
watching the delivery of the Chargers.
So we talked to him a couple of weeks ago when we were talking to him about his road trip, and he's like, I'm going to open up in LA. I'm going to go to the Rams. I'll go to the Chargers. He's like, Cowboys are out in Oxnard. He's
the
like,
Saints are out there too.
Like, I'm doing a West Coast swing. Usually he likes to do the Midwest, but this year he's going out west and he's covering those teams and then making his way back to the Midwest. I would love to text him later on this morning to be like, what were your thoughts when you heard Jim Harbaugh? Because I know he was at that press conference. What were your thoughts when you heard Jim Harbaugh open up by saying, it's like being born. It's like coming out of the womb. You've been a coach for forever. I know this is your first training camp with your new team. You're excited to see that. Derwin James was asked about his press conference, and he was asked about if coming into the world was fitting for the Chargers. And Derwin James said, he's his own guy. We love him. Hey, man, you do you. He is wacky and as zany as ever. There's something in the water in L.A. Maybe Jim Harbaugh brought that to DeSean Foster and Lincoln Riley.
He should have actually explained to the media where they were.
Yeah.
That's important.
At every press conference this offseason, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin has been asked about his quarterback situation, the battle between Russell and Justin Fields. Tomlin is getting tired of getting asked those questions, and he isn't offering much information. Asked about the starter, Tomlin said Wilson has the pole position. Nothing has changed. Asked how the reps will be distributed, Tomlin said very carefully. And then Beamer, he scolded the media for asking about it daily, saying, no way. I've been on the job too long for that.
He knows it. right? I mean, he knows he's going to be asked this question every day, and he's going to give you the same answer. Someone's got to ask the question.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on with Russell Wilson? What's going on with Justin Fields? How's the quarterback competition looking like? You guys have eyeballs. You can see. You're out here. You're watching practice. How are the reps going to be distributed? Very, very carefully. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, I don't know what else you want him to say. Seems like Russell Wilson's going to get the nod in Pittsburgh for the first couple of games of the year. If it goes south, Justin Fields is going to play. I think everybody who watches the NFL or is aware of NFL news kind of understands that. Like, yeah, the leash is probably going to be short on Russ. And again, I don't think they have the toughest start to a season, but their schedule at the end is a brute. I mean, they open up with the Steelers. They're at Mile High against the Broncos.
They are the Steelers.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
They open up with the Steelers.
Well, they do that, too. They can't open up with themselves.
That's who they're practicing against, right? They've already opened up.
Okay, that's true. Squad scrimmage.
Falcons, Broncos, Chargers, Colts. Is their first 4-pack of games. That's winnable. Their last 6.
Not with Russell Wilson at quarterback, they're not.
Their last 8 games are brutal. Ravens, Browns, Bengals. Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. You better get off to a hot start because that is a brutal finish.
The great thing about, I'll say this for Mike Tomlin, when training camp is open, the media can see what he's doing with the reps, and the public will be able to see it.
Yeah.
And then they have preseason games, and it's more open. When we have to cover a quarterback battle or quarterback controversy at Ohio State, we're doing that largely by seeing no practice. This year, we're seeing more than we have in years, which is great. So there'll be 5 opportunities in the first week and a half to see what Ohio State is doing with their quarterbacks. NFL media, they really don't have to ask that every single day.
Yeah, they can
will.
infer.
They can fill, the time and the conversation and get insight about the process. But Mike Tomlin really won't have to give daily updates about how they're managing it, and he won't have to be asked about it the same way that a closed college coach with closed practices would have to. That's great for the NFL.
Yeah, it's perfect because you have reporters out there every day, and fans are out at most of the training camps as well. Ohio State paid an eye-popping amount to their players in NIL money. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. A heads up to drivers going out or coming in from Circleville. Right now, 23 is closed in both directions. Just beyond West Hudson Street because of a crash, crews are working to clear up. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Sears Heating and Cooling, a locally owned family business. And for almost 75 consecutive years, Columbus has counted on Sears Heating and Cooling to keep them comfortable.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Ready for all those summer get-togethers? Fill up your grocery basket at Giant Eagle. Their Deals for Days program features more than 1,000 deals on your favorite items. Barbecue parties or graduations are easier to plan when you buy at Giant Eagle. Learn more at gianteagle.com.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. I was in my Lexus the other day. It was hot as hell, but I was so thankful for my ventilated seats. I'm not saying that's why you should buy one. It's just very nice. Right now at Jermaine Lexus, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with lease payments as low as $499 a month and 3.99% financing on select models. Get this, the RZ is 0%. I have been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. Nearly 21,000 showed up at lower.com field for the MLS All-Star Game. The only goal the MLS scored came when Diego Rossi assisted on a goal by his crew teammate Cucho Hernandez in the 17th minute. That tied the match at 1-1, but Liga MX went on to win 4-1. In the basketball tournament, third-seeded Carmen's Crew upset top-seeded and reigning champion Hardfire 74-70 in the Dayton Regional Final. Caleb Wesson scored 18 points and Jared Sullinger added 12 points and 11 rebounds. Carmen's Crew reaches the TBT quarterfinals for the first time in 5 years. In baseball, Spencer Steer had 3 hits and 3 RBIs as the Reds beat the Braves 9-4 in Game 1 of a doubleheader. The nightcap was rained out. In Cleveland, Josh Naylor's RBI single in the bottom of the 8th gave Cleveland a 2-1 win over Detroit. The Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:35, Jackets Insider, Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program, talk all things Dean Evison. Don Waddell was on Rothman and Ice yesterday as well. Some interesting comments. We'll get into that with Jeff coming up here in about 35 minutes time. Again, 7:35. Then Berm, freshly back from Big Ten Media Days over in Indianapolis with you. Did you guys ride share together? I'm sure you did.
We actually didn't because I didn't want him to have to travel to Columbus and then add 2.5 hours to his journey by then going north 1 mile across the border to Michigan where he lives. So I told him that I was prepared to. I would certainly ride share, but I was like, I was doing this for him.
He's going to
make sure you can go your own way home.
And he's doing something for us because he will join the program coming up here at 8:35 as we talk about all things Big Ten Media Days and Buckeyes with Berm, 8:35. Jackets Insider, 7:35. Jeff Svoboda, Berm, 8:35.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Crazy stories coming out of the Olympics, which we'll get into in our next segment. Catch you up on some of the stuff that was going on yesterday. On the footy pitch, France 3, USA nothing.
Yeesh.
Was tied, I don't know, through about an hour of the game, through 60 minutes, and then batted an eye, 3-0.
Seems like the golden generation, which has already fallen flat, is not being backed up by a platinum generation.
No, so I had a tweet this morning, and I've got a couple of these, like, hey, how does Olympic soccer work? And this one was from Seaworth. He tweeted me, and he said, did the U.S. send their best men's soccer players to the Olympics? It sure didn't look like it. No, we didn't. We just got done playing in Copa, which resulted in Greg Berhalter getting fired. Like, that's our senior team. That's our national team. So the way the Olympics works is, like, it's not a FIFA mandated event. It is outside of, like, the actual, like, international window. So the way that the Olympic soccer works in the men's side, women's is a different thing. That's like the full boat national teams. So the men's team is a group of U23 players. And if you're under 23, that's great. You're able to be selected by the national team. You get 3 players to designate who are above 23 to come and play for the Olympic squad. So, like, Walker Zimmerman is one of our guys who is playing for the Olympics in our team. Now, they lost 3-0, so, you know, it's a bunch of young kids running out there. Again, I mean, you want to have a good performance in this, good showing. The last time we made an Olympics, I want to say in men's soccer, was 2012 or 2008. Like, it's been a little bit of time for us since we've been able to do that. I was looking at the French roster just to show you the gap and disparity of player values. So Michael Olise plays for them, and you probably don't know that name, but he just left Crystal Palace in England and made a big money move to Bayern Munich. That was like $70 million that they paid for this guy. He is playing on the U23 team, not as a designated player. All right. He's one of their guys. Alexander Lacazette, who's been around for a long time, played at Arsenal and played at a bunch of different other places across Europe. He is the lowest transfer valued player on France's team, like $9.7 million. Alexander Lacazette is like in his mid-30s, one of the designated players, one a good voice of like leadership and, veteran presence in that locker room. Our most expensive player, the player of the most value on the United States Olympics team, is $9.3 million. France's lowest is a veteran. Their highest is like 75, 80 million. Our highest is 9.3.
Yeah, the United States is like a group of 5 team.
Yeah.
Compared to France.
Yeah, totally.
Which is just gross.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. We got millions and millions and millions, not just our overall population, but like soccer is one of the most widely played sports at the youth level in our country.
Mm-hmm.
And
everyone plays soccer.
And it simply just can't translate. And I know it's the biggest mystery that I think regular soccer fans have, even casual soccer fans, or even people who aren't fans of soccer at all. They're like, why is the U.S. not able to do this? Like, they play every other sport at a high level. And we're just like, I don't know. Can't do it.
Yeah, they can't.
It doesn't translate.
They can't beat us in football, though.
That's true. We own it. They won't even play it against us. Like,
yeah, they're that
This
scared.
is a waste. They're all going to get hurt.
I want you to come over here and play with the pigskin.
Yeah.
See what happens in that.
Right.
Rugby yesterday, we did tie France 12-12. I wasn't aware that we were playing 2 games yesterday. I saw Fiji on the schedule, but we tied 12-12 against France, and they got smoked by Fiji, 38-12. Fiji, very good at sevens. I think they won the gold medal in last time.
Powerhouse.
They are a big powerhouse. They're good in 15s. They're really fantastic in sevens. So they're coming up today playing Uruguay at 9 a.m. actually, so just a couple hours away in sevens. So you need France to lose by a lot against Fiji.
They will.
You need to beat Uruguay. MLS All-Star game last night, Liga MX 4, MLS 1, Cucho scoring a goal. Game doesn't really mean anything. Great atmosphere over at lower.com field. I didn't go, watched a little bit of it. Cucho scored a goal. I'm like, okay, that's enough for me. That's all I need to see.
I hate all-star games. I'm glad that Columbus got to host one. I'm glad that it was a showcase for our beautiful city and beautiful stadium. But all-star games need to be done away with. They are a waste of time.
Skills competition was great. That was fun.
Do that.
Yeah, just do the skills competition.
Don't put Cucho and Diego Rossi at risk of injury for no reason. Also, don't play Aston Villa. But
I like Villa coming in. That's fine. That's like I guess I don't like it because it's in the middle of the season.
It's in the middle of the season for us. What are we doing?
Well, you got Leagues Cup to worry about.
We're chasing championships here, Beam.
U.S. women's national team, they take on Zambia today at 3 o'clock. That's full bore national.
That's the real deal.
That's the real deal. So be watching that today at 3 o'clock. I was reading this article from Ross Dellinger, Austin, and I'm sure that you were aware of it as well. I'll just read you the first piece of it. Said, in his stylish checkered suit jacket and red tie, a cleanly cropped hairline, and a perfectly trimmed beard, Ryan Day strides across Lucas Oil Stadium and through Big Ten Media Day Tuesday like a CEO occupying the halls of a Fortune 500 company. He is a great wordsmith. He's a great writer.
Yeah, but why? This is a news story. That lead
That's the way he goes. That's the way he does
completely
it.
unnecessary.
He wants you to picture the way that Ryan Day is looking and striding throughout Lucas Oil. Said in many ways, he is a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, Ohio State Football Incorporated. Last year, Ohio State produced the country's largest athletic budget. We talked about that, $275 million. They also were the highest in revenue across the country, much of it from football-generated revenue, and soon schools and all others will be permitted to distribute that wealth directly to players. In fact, the university is rich enough that its donor-led collective and brand affiliates dispersed to Buckeye football players, quote, around $20 million this past year, said Ross Bjork, the new athletic director here at Ohio State. I don't know about you, but I know that we were talking a couple of years ago, Ryan Day threw out these comments like, yeah, it'd probably take $14 million. Ross Bjork said yesterday, or maybe the day before, whenever he was talking to Ross Dellinger of Yahoo, $20 million just to the football program.
Yeah, so Ryan Day was asked about that on Tuesday because other schools have been throwing around dollar amounts, and some are higher than that. Lots of accusations that Ohio State has purely purchased this all-star lineup, all-star roster. And Ryan Day's like, well, I mean, it is a lot of money, but I don't know how opposing athletic directors know what it is because I don't know what it is. Yeah. A lot of it, because of the way that it is currently structured, Ohio State, it's not like they're directly giving this to players. They're not allowed to do that.
Now, that will change next year.
It will change. That amount, like, that everyone is
$22 million.
Yeah, that everyone is agreeing to, like, they will be able to disperse that and manage that the same as any other program. But Ryan Day's point was, yeah, it is a lot of money. The collectives are involved, but it's not just the collectives because Columbus has so many other opportunities for endorsements. He said, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. And he's also like, he's not, it's not that he won't tell you. He can't tell you. He doesn't know what it is. You don't have to report all this, all the money. Like everyone wanted to put these rules in place. You have to disclose where your income's coming from. No, guess what? You've never had to do that in college football. That was the whole point. It was under the table. Now there are contracts and that's coming above the table, but they don't have to tell people how much they make. That's private information.
Well, yeah, they don't have to say that. Next year, again, I mean, we know that that's going to be a $22 million cap for Ohio State, and I think Ross Bjork said the next year it's going to go up to like 24, something along those lines. But, I mean, I'm just wondering, too, Austin, and we know, I mean, we've talked about this almost ad nauseum at this point, about, you know, the rev share and how all this is going to work and Title IX and is going to have to be split 50-50 and those things really can't exist kind of in this NIL world, but yet they're going to be implemented next year. And I just wonder, like, all right, let's play hypothetical for a second. 11 million go to women's sports, 11 million go to men's sports. Then that work share, like that, was it going to be 90% to the football team, 10% to the basketball team, and then nobody else? Like, I don't know how that's going to work. But it also, too, doesn't disregard the fact that you're still going to be able to go out and raise money upon your own. Like the collectives and local businesses will still be able to do whatever they want to in a free market and pay these players. So, I mean, it's going to be $22 million net spend minimum for the university. Who knows what else they're going to bring in on NIL collective deals or what these players are going to actually go out and achieve, what that dollar amount's actually going to look like.
Yeah, it's hard to get a complete, clear picture on that because we don't need it. You know, that's my point. Like, there are so many endorsement opportunities for Ohio State athletes. It was Ryan Day's point as well on Tuesday. Like, it doesn't have to come purely from the collective, and it's also not going to have to come directly from Ohio State. That stuff is all going to help, and it's going to continue to maintain the best year in, year out roster, arguably in college football. But this is also a unique circumstance where that dollar amount may be less in other years when you don't have 8, 9, 10, 11 draft eligible Buckeyes making a decision to go to the NFL or come back for another year. So that stuff can change, but the point is that the resources are never going to be short in Ohio State. And a lot of people, I'm curious about why it has become such a big deal for Ohio State specifically in this offseason. When Alabama and Georgia, were their players all playing for free the last couple of years?
Yes.
I don't think that they were.
And for the last 80.
I mean, beyond that, just in the NIL era, we already know that Tennessee was handing out McDonald's bags of cash before NIL existed.
When you were down there covering it, did you ever see one of those exchanges?
I used to get them all the time. It's great. You go into the drive-thru window and you say, "I'm visiting."
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, I know what that means." And then then you just give them the secret signal and they hand it to you. But why has this become such a big deal for Ohio State specifically? I don't understand.
Because everything that Ohio State does is a big deal. Seeing some guy on Twitter yesterday who was a Georgia fan be like, "Man, this schedule is Charmin soft." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, the schedule is the schedule. What do you want us to do?"
Everyone's going to be in that playoff and have to win 3 or 4 really hard games. What difference does it make? The regular season has been devalued for everybody. Georgia, when it rose to prominence in the SEC East, was doing it against the worst versions of Tennessee and Florida and Vanderbilt imaginable. Like Georgia throwing accusations
may be
about
at its bottom point now.
That helped fuel Georgia in that side of the SEC for many years. They were clinching the SEC East by the first week of November, like every single year. Georgia, don't come for people's schedules. What are you talking about?
The Olympics didn't even really start yet. We already got a great cheating scandal and one of the more shocking endings that you're going to see. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we have 23 shut down on the south side. This is near Circleville. We've got southbound lanes closed just beyond Hudson Street. Watch for that if you're heading in that direction. Also here in the metro, the right lane blocked on I-270 eastbound right at State Route 3 Westerville Road because of a crash. And on I-670, westbound lanes are slow moving right at Neal Avenue because of a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing. It's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, it's me, Little Bob from Bob's Discount Furniture. I know, you don't know me yet, but I'm here to let you know that I'm opening up 2 brand new showrooms in the Columbus area, located in Reynoldsburg and Polaris, bringing even more of my everyday low prices to the people of Ohio. And if you can't wait, mybobs.com is the quickest and easiest way to get unbeatable furniture prices delivered straight to your home today. That's my 2 brand new Bob's Discount Furniture stores coming to Reynoldsburg and Polaris this summer.
Get Bob's Discount! Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
The Buckeyes are starting fall camp and we're tagging along. The Fan is broadcasting live August 1st through the 4th at Ohio State football practice. Morning Juice and Bishop and Friends Thursday and Friday, plus live weekend programming. Let's go.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or hindererford.net. We love what moves you.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Friday, July 26th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 26th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. We'll see you there.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Turning sunny this afternoon with a 20% chance of a pop-up shower. High 84. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. Going 84 on your Friday under sunny skies. Sunny and toasty on your Saturday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, 7:35, Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program, talk all things CBJ. With Dean Evison hire. Feel good about that situation. Seems to be an actual plan in place for the Jackets and what to do moving forward, which is good. Don Waddell, too. He was on Rothman and Ice yesterday. I'd encourage you to go and listen to that. It was very good. Talked about the Kirill Marchenko negotiations, the never offer the job to Todd McClellan. I know there were, obviously, we talked about that a lot as well. And then ultimately what the expectations are in year number one and why they chose Dean Evison. So it was a very good conversation. We're going to ask Jeff about that. All that kind of good stuff coming up here in our next segment around 7:35. Are you locked in? Are you as tuned in to the Olympics as I'm going to be?
No.
No?
I just
didn't
can't.
know you were a communist.
I just can't. I can't get into it. I don't.
Ever? You went to a World Cup to support your national team, and you can't get into the Olympics?
I just don't really care about track and field. I don't care about swimming. I want the U.S. to win a pile of medals.
Well, they can't do it without your support.
Yes, they can. They've been doing it for years. I get into this point, and when I was younger, definitely. It's like, oh, these are the best 2 weeks every 4 years. Like, all this stuff that I never get to see. Well, stuff that I never want to see.
That's such a bad attitude. Take that attitude out of here.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Usually the guy with the hammer and sickle tattoo on this show is Shark. Today, that's been transplanted to you.
No, don't put that evil on me. I'm getting ready for football season, Beam.
Yeah, so am I. Enjoying the hell out of the Olympics.
And this weekend, I'm, going to play some golf.
Nice.
And go to the National Card Show. I don't have time for the Olympics. I got to go make money. It's in Cleveland. As soon as I'm done with you tomorrow.
Yep.
Landis and I heading straight up the interstate because we got to go make some money.
Where's that thing at?
It's like, is that Nine Center, Convention Center? I'm not sure what it's actually called.
I don't know.
Yeah, IX Center. Someone tell me.
Shark, you're familiar
never been
with
there.
Cleveland? Was it Convention Center like downtown?
There is an IX Center.
IX Center.
I don't know if that's where it's
That is where it is. Yeah, that's where it's going to be.
Did you say car or card?
CARD. Sports Card Show.
You got any Pokemon?
I don't have Pokemon.
I would have had millions of dollars in Pokemon cards if I just kept mine.
There's a lot of people who wish that they hadn't also thrown away. My mom threw away a ton of my sports cards from when I was collecting as a child. So I had to basically restart from scratch during COVID. It's like, well, what's left? Some of it was retained, but she also got
was
rid
that
of
your COVID
hundreds
hobby?
of. Oh yeah,
that was your COVID hobby.
Yeah, and it's not given it back up since then. Got the bug. Bill Landis and I are both into it, and we're taking our collections up there to make a little bit of money, and then probably wasting it all on more cards to bring back home.
We're going to make, honey, how much did you make? Thousands. How much did you spend? Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
All right. So yesterday in the Olympics, you had Argentina and Morocco playing in soccer, and Morocco was up 2-0. Argentina scored to make it 2-1. There were then 16 minutes of added time. 16. All right. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know where they came up with that number at. But
it was all the minutes that they saved from not letting the U.S. have stoppage time in the Copa.
Yeah, exactly. All the minutes from Copa that we got jobbed out of, they gave it to Argentina in that match. So Argentina ties the game at 2-2. Like at the death of the game, like 106th, 107th minute, like very end of the game, balls pinging around the box, off of the post, like going crazy, and finally Argentina finishes to make it 2-2. Well, after they scored, the Moroccan fans started throwing stuff on the field. There were like bottle rockets and like just all kinds of stuff being thrown on the field. So the game was suspended. The game was paused, and there was no explanation that was given other than the fans needed to leave the stadium. So, like, they thought the game was over, right? Game was going to be over. They cleared out the stadium, took them 2 hours to do it. In the meantime, while all this is going on, they looked at the goal, and the goal was offside.
By one step.
By a step. So they went to VAR. It was offside. They took the goal off the big board and then had to go out and replay the final 90 seconds of the game, with Argentina then losing 2-1 Morocco. They took a 2-hour break, had to then come back and play like 90 seconds of 2 minutes of soccer.
It's kind of
crazy.
It's
in an empty stadium.
In an empty stadium, yeah.
It's kind of surprising that all the rosters were still there.
Yeah.
Like, let's hang around for a little bit just in case. 2 hours later is nuts.
2 hours later is crazy. And also, too, speaking of pretty big scandals, a Canada soccer staffer was caught flying a drone over New Zealand training earlier this week as the two teams prepared to meet on opening day of the soccer competition today at the Olympics. The staffer, Joseph Lombardi, Vince's great-grandson, was detained and now has been sent home from the games. But only after the French police searched his hotel room, recovered the drone footage, and got him to admit that the videos of the two closed training session, quote, had enabled him to learn the tactics of the opposing team. His boss, assistant coach Jasmine Mander, has also been removed from the Canadian delegation and sent home as punishment. And then he went on to say, yada, 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 whatever. We condone cheating. Yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. Whatever. And then the Canadian coach was also suspended. What are we doing? We're 2 days into the Olympics. We have a major cheating scandal. You got Katie Ledecky up there, who is one of the greatest Olympians of all time, saying, I hope all these athletes come to the Olympics clean. I know they're not going to.
Spoiler alert, they won't.
No, like, it's just this. It's off to a rip-raring good start. And also, the Sen is full of crap.
Get on board. Steven Spielberg is pumped for it. How on earth, Canada?
What are you doing? You're supposed to be the nice country.
What on earth are you thinking? There is more security. There is more police presence. There is more scrutiny than at any other event and any other tournament that you will ever be in. You think there's, that drone's probably doing nothing up there.
Probably filming some work for NBC.
Yeah, it's not even an opponent that you have to cheat to beat.
How brazen do you have to be?
What on earth are you doing? Bill Belichick at least tried to hide it.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna put
what
it.
What about
on
Georgia and the Peach Bowl a couple of years ago?
That's a whole nother matter. I don't even get into those. But at least that was difficult to figure out where that might have come from. I know we're going to send a drone up and then I'm going to keep the footage right here, tucked away in my hotel room. The French police will never find it.
I mean, it's amazing. So 2 hours, a stoppage game. Game gets recalled because of VAR. Argentina ends up losing instead of drawing a game. And then Canada's coaching staff gets sent home and deported from France because of cheating. Good job, everybody.
Beam, if these athletes aren't going to take the Olympics seriously, neither am I.
Hey, at least they're sleeping on cardboard beds. They got that going for them, which is nice. Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda, he's going to join the program. We'll talk about new CBJ head coach Dean Evison with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching 23 shut down on the south side. This is in Circleville. Watch for crews shutting down those southbound lanes right around West Hudson Street. Also watching a crash here in the metro. I-270 eastbound right at State Route 3, Westerville Road. We've got the right lane blocked, and 670 traffic slow moving going westbound because of a crash that has the left lane blocked right at Neal Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. We save our customers tons of money and frustration by simply inspecting their sewer, water, and drain lines with our high-tech cameras before there's a problem. Check us out at CarpenterColumbus.com. That's CarpenterColumbus.com.
Today is National Chili Dog Day. Head to your favorite neighborhood Skyline Chili and celebrate with some of those incredibly delicious Skyline cheese conies. There's no better chili dogs on the planet. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here for my friends at RCD RV. Remember your favorite summer vacation as a kid? Well, I sure do, and I can tell you those memories will last forever. And there is still time to create those memories with your family when you visit the fine people at RCD RV. You can literally go anywhere in an RV. The mountains, the lake, road trip of a lifetime. RCD has over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock, something for every budget. Visit them at one of their 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain, and one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that's come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 37 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We've all heard the horror stories. Someone knocking on your door, offering a free roof inspection. Sure, sounds great, right? Only for them to go up and damage your shingles, cause a mess, and try to push a new roof through your insurance. Rather than dealing with the headache of filing vandalism claims, call a company you can trust, Newman Roofing. For 32 years, Newman Roofing has built a reputation of honesty and integrity right here in Central Ohio. They will assess whether your roof has sustained damage from recent storms or if it still has some life left. There's never any pushy sales tactics. They'll educate you about your roof's condition and answer any questions, giving you the peace of mind you deserve. So, whether you need a roof replacement or a simple repair, call the most trusted roofing company in Central Ohio, Newman Roofing. Visit online at newmanroofing.com or call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's along here, a little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Jackets Insider, Jeff Svoboda. Jeff, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Busy past couple of days for you. I thought you were getting in some off time. Thankfully, you came back from Maine in time for all this to happen this week.
That is right. I came back a day early from vacation. You know, they say not all heroes wear capes, and I think that's probably true.
But you do wear a cape.
Well, you know, you don't have to tell everybody that on the radio. Like I'm Frank Costanza's lawyer on Seinfeld. Yes, you know, obviously a busy time, but you know what? People, how many questions do they get on social media? Are the Blue Jackets going to hire a coach? When are the Blue Jackets going to hire a coach? So they finally went and hired a coach. So it's exciting times.
What and we've been talking about this a lot this week, Jeff. What should be the first and foremost thing that we as Blue Jackets fans know about Dean Evison?
I could throw out some statistics, and I will. The 4 full seasons that he was there, they made the playoffs. I know last year was a difficult year, and it's amazing. He probably had 230 good games as head coach of the Minnesota Wild, and the way the NHL is you have 20 bad games and you get fired. So the whole of the resume is pretty good. A 639 points percentage, that's 7th all time among coaches with at least 250 games. So those are pretty good. But the thing that stood out to me, just being in the press conference room, is he talked and just having a chance to meet him a little bit. A very nice guy, a very personable guy, but someone that you can just tell has a presence about him, someone that commands some respect. And I think that's something that's important for this team right now is when you've got this mix of players who are kind of trying to find their way, a ton of young players, but a strong veteran core as well. You need someone that's going to be a leader and someone that's going to bring structure and stability and really demand accountability. And just the short time I was around Dean Evison, you just got the sense that he's that kind of guy. You can see the leadership qualities in him and just how people kind of gravitate toward him because of that. And so I think with the team that they have, that's the kind of coach that they were looking for, and that's now the coach that they've got. And I think that for this group right now, it's someone that really fits what they're looking for.
Jeff, when you talk about how impressed you were with just the way he carried himself in that press conference, to drill down more specifically, what was the most interesting thing that he said in that setting?
Ooh, that's a great point. Really putting me on the spot here. One of the things that I really wanted to ask him and kind of pick his brain about was, how much he gained in experience from that first time that he was the head coach in Minnesota these past couple of years. Because, one thing we saw with Pascal Vincent and Brad Larson, two first-time coaches at the NHL level the last couple of years, they've been in the game for a long time and had really good resumes and had done everything but be head coaches in the NHL. But I do think until you do that job, you don't really fully understand everything that goes into it. It's just such a different thing than being an assistant coach or even being a head coach down at the AHL level. There's so much responsibility and so many things you have to do on a daily basis that until you've lived it, I think it's something that takes some learning. I asked Dean Evison, what did you learn in Minnesota? Or did you learn a lot about yourself in Minnesota and about the job? And he said yes. And he talked about, there's a lot of things I probably would have done differently, that now I know. I've been in those situations before. And I think when we talk about experience and we talk about, someone who had been there before, there's a reason why, because it is such a difficult job. And so someone who has that experience, it means a lot. And I think that's something that's really important for him, that someone that had been there before brings a lot to the table. And he said, there's things I wish I would have done, and there's things I did that worked that I'll probably do again. And so I think that was really kind of interesting to hear, just that perspective of someone who's learned on the job. So I thought that was good. And I thought it was also good to know just, he's funny. I mean, there was a number of times in the press conference where he made some jokes, had some quips, talked about teaching Alex Ovechkin everything he knew about his shot, things like that. Made that the line that everyone I think saw on social media about how, heck yeah, I'm excited to face my former team in Game 1. So, a very honest and very real person. You could just tell just from the first half hour or so we got to spend with one another.
He is Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, I mentioned this all throughout the week here since I've gotten back. Like it was nice and refreshing to actually hear a coach come in and say, this is our plan. This is how we're going to implement our plan. It's not going to happen overnight and it's going to take some time, but there is a plan in place. Like to me, it was refreshing to hear for an organization that's just been kind of floating around in the wind for a couple of seasons.
Yeah. And I think this is going to go to the top too. I mean, I heard the new general manager, President of Hockey Operations, Don Waddell, on yesterday on your station, and the honesty that he has when he talks about, what the plan is and what they want to get accomplished. And it's the same with Dean Evison. That's the, number one thing I've heard from Minnesota fans who've kind of reached out to me on social media over the last couple of days is Dean Evison's a straight shooter. You're never going to have to, try to translate what he's trying to say or try to figure out where he's coming from. He's going to be honest with you. And you can say the same thing about Don Waddell. And I think that is refreshing because I think that plays well here. I think, here, the culture of the Midwest is to not, BS people and to, kind of tell it like it is. And I think that, especially for this fan base that, wants to believe and has stuck with this franchise through the past couple of seasons where they haven't won as much as they would have wanted to. I think someone kind of coming in and being honest and saying, here's where we're at and here's where we're going. And, I think they both have talked about how much they like the foundation that they built, but also, it's a process of from a roster standpoint, for Waddell, of getting it where it needs to be, and from Evison, really instilling that culture and that team first mentality he wants. But, here's the plan, here's how we're going to do it. I think that carries a lot of weight around here. So I think I'm certainly excited to see where it goes. You can never really predict 100% the future, but I think the track records of each of these guys is pretty good. And I think that they've been here before. They know how to handle the situations they're in, and hopefully that's going to mean some success here down the road.
Jeff, so it's late July. They've got a little bit of time here before camp ramps up, before preseason, all that stuff, the season arrives. What can be done now? What's the next thing on the to-do list?
Yeah, it's crazy how much more time we have in the summer. I saw you were in Chicago this past week. I saw the road beers were already flowing. We're still in fully in the off-season portion of the program, but the really clearly the two big things that are left. One is going to be the Kirill Marchenko contract, and getting that figured out. There's an arbitration date set for next week. I think both sides would much prefer to get it done before it gets to that point, and I think it probably will. It's just a matter of, it's such a unique situation for Marchenko where he is in his career, is that, you can sign the shorter deal, you can sign the longer deal, and then from there you've got to figure out money for both of those. And so there's a lot on the table there, but I think it probably gets done. And the fact that there is a deadline also kind of forces you to sit down and get that figured out. And then obviously the other thing, the big elephant in the room, is what happens with Patrick Laine. And, when does he get out of the player assistance program? And I'm not trying to make light of that, but that is just an important factor as to if you want to make a trade there. Teams want to have the ability to talk with him and figure out where he's coming from, especially when it comes to, contracts and things like that. And so I think that, until he gets to that point, there's just kind of a situation where it's hard to make that deal. But I think, they want to make that deal because they want to get that sorted out and get it figured out. That's going to be the big thing that has to get done. And, maybe we'll see some smaller transactions. But I think by and large, when it comes to, the free agency and stuff like that, we've got a big portion of the roster figured out. It's just getting those two things done here next.
All right, Jeff, I was going to ask this question. How long before all this talk actually lends itself to success here in this city with this hockey club?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I had a crystal ball, I would love to be able to tell you it sooner rather than later.
Give me a day number.
Yeah, January 23rd of 20.
I hope that was going to be 25.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, that would be great. It's hard to tell because, and I've said this a million times on your show, because you just don't know when these young teams. Yeah. And I keep referring to the Jackets as a young team, but really, I think it's clear that. The key to this organization for long-term success is when these young players really hit their stride. And we've seen it in fits and starts. We've seen a lot of the potential out of a lot of these young guys. But, once those guys really get over the hump and it clicks is when this team is really going to be a consistent winner. And it's just so hard because it always seems to take a little bit longer than maybe people project. But I tell you what, though, you watch him last year, and you watch a guy like a Yegor Chinakhov, who was on a 30-goal pace if he stayed healthy. And it's like, man, if he can just stay healthy and it just clicks, like he could be a 30, 35, 40 goal scorer sooner rather than later. Marchenko, 2 seasons of 20 goals, to start off his career. And I think he was even disappointed with last year, maybe a bit of a sophomore slump, and he still scored 20 goals. So is there 30, 35 in there? Adam Fantilli, when's he going to pop? And I say that, obviously he only had 1 year and was hurt for part of it, but it just feels like, a third overall pick, someone who was really well liked coming into the league. I mean, he's going to be a really good player sooner rather than later. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's not that much longer before, those guys start really taking those steps consistently. And then you match that with the veteran core that they have and guys, like Johnny, who's still a pretty darn good player, Zach Werenski, who's an all-star defenseman. If that kind of stuff can mesh sooner rather than later, it wouldn't surprise me if it's not that far down the road. But like I also say, in the NHL, you're facing teams that have been together for a long time, and it's hard to win on a nightly basis. So I'm cautiously optimistic it will be sooner rather than later is what I would say, because I do think a lot of these young players are maybe closer than we think to really getting that consistent level of where they're going to be guys that they can build around for a long time.
Jeff, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
There he goes, Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, 23 is still closed going southbound in Circleville. Watch for a crash right just beyond West Hudson Street and crews blocking those southbound lanes. On I-670 westbound, traffic is still slow moving as crews work to clear up a crash near Neal Avenue. And traffic also still slow moving on I-270 eastbound right at State Route 3 Westerville Road because of a crash that has the right lane blocked. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep, too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. As you know, I am a world-renowned inventor. So you keep telling me. The royalties alone on that little plastic table I invented to put in pizza boxes, more than you can imagine.
And yet you come into the office here at Eco every day when you're supposed to be a silent partner.
Get Eco.
Because, Aaron, I think we should do a better job of telling people all the ways the word eco stands for everything we do.
I'm pretty sure people can figure it out.
Economical, ecological, eco-ountable, eco-accommodating.
Is there a spelling requirement to be an inventor? I mean, I barely graduated, and I can spell those words better.
Get Eco.
When people get eco to help with their plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, they get all that. Innovative, modern, practical solutions from highly trained plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
It's all right there in the name.
It is all right there in the name.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. It's divisive, fear-stoking, and negative. That's what our social media is for. Or your crazy uncle's house, or the grocery store, or you get my point. The Fan, Ohio's politics-free destination.
When you come to Diamonds Direct, we know it's always the start of a celebration, an engagement, your wedding day, honoring a lifetime of love, searching for that special birthday gift for the one you love the most, and all the celebrations in between. That's why we've curated a shopping experience to match your excitement. You walk into a beautiful showroom with experts eager to help, or if you prefer, just explore on your own as long as you like. At Diamonds Direct, we've taken pressure out of the process. Our experts are cheerful and engaging. We'll help you on your terms with your price range when you're ready. We've made it easy by offering virtually unlimited options. With everything in our showcase being handpicked for its beauty and quality, you can't go wrong. You are guaranteed to get the best value because we are the value leader, and you have confidence in knowing you are protected with our lifetime warranties and guarantees. Diamonds Direct's experience is designed with our goal of creating not just a happy moment, but a magical one. So you leave smiling, just like you came in. Diamonds Direct, for your best moments in life. Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sunshine will return this afternoon. Temperatures and humidity levels will be much lower. We're looking at a high around 84 today. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. And on your Friday, look for sunny skies with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky? Yeah. Schlags time.
Listen, man, if I got to go chase somebody down, right, real fast, gas station ready, Waffle House ready, and I got to sprint 30 yards, okay? Like, I'm not going to have anything pop when I just, boom, I just power into the ground and I accelerate on their, all up in their face.
He said he can't run 30 yards, though.
He can accelerate and pop you in your face, though.
Yeah. He could do that. ESPN put out its list of the top 25 NFL players of this century, the 21st century.
Number one, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, number one.
I haven't looked at this list.
All right, well, keep guessing then.
Patrick Mahomes is in there somewhere.
He's number two.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Calvin Johnson.
Just a list of the best quarterbacks?
Basically. No, actually the third guy is a defensive player.
Defensive player. Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, number three. Number four,
Peyton Manning.
Quarterback, Peyton Manning. Number five, receiver.
Calvin Johnson.
Nope.
Larry Fitzgerald.
No.
Randy Moss.
Browns Hall of Fame tackle,
Joe Thomas.
He came in at number 23. And our buddy Orlando Pace was on the outside looking in. He actually came in 28th. So you look at that list, and there's not much you can argue about.
The Big O was behind Joe Thomas? Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on now. Have a little respect.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Have a little respect for Orlando.
You probably saw Joe Burrow's hair yesterday.
I did. He's looking good.
He had the, I guess you'd call it a buzz cut, and then he bleached the...
Yeah, he's got the Slim Shady look.
The half inch that's left.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asked about it yesterday during the first day of training camp.
I got bored. That's about it. BJ said that if I buzzed it and bleached it, he would do it too. So now everybody's got to hold him accountable because he's got to do it in the next week.
There you go. He looks like a different person. It's amazing to me.
I'm with you on that. I'm looking at this list now. I got a big problem. I have a huge problem with it.
With what?
Larry Fitzgerald's ranked at 27th. Larry Fitzgerald's one of the best receivers of all time. How are we ranking him 27th of some of the best players since the turn of the century?
That's pretty bad.
Larry Fitzgerald's got the second most receiving yards of all time. What are we doing? Why? What are we doing?
Okay.
Did they collectively vote on this list, or is it just one person's? What's the...
No. It's
Who did this?
It's a panel.
Okay.
And only your stats from 2000 on count. So Randy Moss, even though part of his career was in the previous century, they don't count those stats. But
I'm not arguing that
fifth.
Randy Moss should have been fifth or that Calvin Johnson should have been sixth. Like, both of those guys, terrific, and some of the best to ever play the game. I don't know how Larry Fitzgerald is not in the top 25.
All right. This does not have me juiced. And I don't know if shark attacks are happening more frequently or if we're just hearing about them more frequently. But 23-year-old star surfer Kai McKenzie was attacked while surfing off the coast of Australia on Tuesday. A 15-foot shark latched onto his right leg. McKenzie was able to fight the shark off, but the shark got away with the leg.
Oof.
Miraculously, the leg washed back up on shore, and authorities are hoping it can be reattached.
What?
Why?
Yeah. But you know what? I've always been an ocean guy. I mean, when I go on vacation to the ocean, I spend 3 or 4 hours every day in the ocean. And now with these recent attacks down in the Florida Panhandle, I'm starting to think a little bit like Beamsy, like maybe I'll go, knee deep. I'm a scaredy cat now, Austin.
I mean, the Sharks are getting brazen.
They are.
They're sensing weakness.
They're just in their natural habitat. It's not their fault. I don't think every shark that bites a leg off, we can kill them.
You're going to Destin when?
October.
Will you get in the water less than you usually have now?
I will. It's scared me. I'm going to have to start going to the lake like
the nice part about
jumping in the lake.
Jumping into Lake Michigan, I'm like, oh, let's see if I see any fish. No, nothing
All
there.
clear.
There's just nothing there. I did step on a rock. That was about.
That's right.
That was about it.
Didn't
Well,
take
you got to
your
watch
leg
out
off
for
them.
those. But the rock again is also in its natural habitat.
That's right.
Totally.
You're an invader.
Technically true.
So you get what you deserve. That's why I stay out of the water at all costs.
The water was also like 60 degrees. It wasn't the warmest, but it definitely was not as cold as it was in June.
That's great. You know what I'm juiced about?
What?
In 1 week, Ohio State will be on the practice field.
Yeah.
First 4 practices, if you have tickets, you'll be able to watch. And if you're a part of the media and credentialed, you'll be able to watch. 4 of them in a row.
If you're a listener to Morning Juice and or Bishop and Friends, you'll be able to listen.
To get inside.
To the experience. Also, too, I don't know how this is all going to work yesterday, but we're talking to our big boss. We're talking to Fish. We might even have video capabilities for our YouTube channel when we're out there. We might. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. We don't want to get like Canadian drone strike and then all of a sudden we're going to be banned from the Woody.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to show practice.
Can you get Austin to show up live for his Friday appearance?
I've been asking about it.
I'm just going to tell you right now. The rest of the media will be outraged if you're allowed to go live, and the program itself you'll be undermining the experience for the NIL people.
True.
And they don't want other programs to be able to also watch it.
It'll be filming us.
But I thought you were suggesting maybe we'll turn the camera the other direction.
No. It will be on us like it is right now.
Okay.
It'll just be on me and Bobby.
That's better than to watch than practice anyway.
Of course.
That's where the heat is.
Oh, yeah. Bobby yelling at somebody for not running through their gassers.
He's not going to be able to stay seated.
No, I'm not either. I'm going to be so excited. Pads popping, whistles blowing, birds chirping, nothing going on for the first 2 hours of the show.
Well, no pads on Thursday and Friday anyway.
Yeah, but in my mind, they'll be all padded, and they'll be tackling on the first day of camp. That's got me fired up. Also, Lincoln Riley doesn't have me fired up. He's a coward. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, 23 still shut down going southbound in Circleville, just past West Hudson Street because of a crash. Also here in the metro, I-270 eastbound, right at State Route 3, Westerville Road. Going eastbound, we've got a crash that has the right lane blocked. And westbound, 670 traffic slow moving right now because of a crash right at Neal Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline. Now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend is back. Shop buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and special offers on diamond engagement rings. Visit us at Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, Friday, July 26th and Saturday, July 27th on Sawmill Road.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival, August 2nd through 4th. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts, and more than 800 performers. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on.
That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. The MLS All-Star Game was held last night in Columbus. Liga MX defeated the MLS Stars 4-1. The only goal for the MLS came in the 17th minute by Cucho Hernandez of the Crew. In baseball, the Guardians kept their 5-game lead on Minnesota in the American League Central after both teams won yesterday. Cleveland scored a run on Josh Naylor's RBI single in the bottom of the 8th to get past Detroit 2-1. And the Twins overcame a 4-1 deficit to beat the Phillies 5-4. In the National League Central, the Reds are out of last place. They moved a game ahead of the Cubs, who lost to Milwaukee 3-2 following Tuesday's rainout in Atlanta. Cincinnati was scheduled to play a day-night doubleheader against the Braves, but they only got the day game in. Spencer Steer had 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 RBIs as the Reds won the opener 9-4. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. You can always watch us on the YouTube, live streaming all day, live and local. Through that, you can also watch our program afterwards or take a listen to the podcast as well. So all kinds of avenues for you to watch and now listen. I got that wrong. Listen and now watch. You've been able to listen to this radio station for about 101 years.
Since the Grader family invented it.
Yes. That one was for people who were listening since 6:05.
That's a callback.
That's a deep track only. Berm, he's going to join the program coming up here around 8:35 this morning.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
I was going to ask Jeff this, but we ran out of time. Dean Evison, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. He's from Flin Flon, Manitoba. All right.
You just made that place up.
I didn't make this place up. It's a real place. It's where he's from. And
Flin Flon?
Flin Flon. F-L-I-N space F-L-O-N. Flin Flon, Manitoba, Canada. So I didn't look on a map yesterday where Flin Flon was located. I'm like, all right, it's somewhere in Manitoba. Maybe it's like a suburb of Winnipeg or, up there somewhere. It is higher north than Edmonton. Like, this place is way up there in the middle of nowhere. Stationed right between Dickstone and Jan Lake, Canada. Like right on the border of Winnipeg, Manitoba and Saskatchewan.
Is he the most famous export from Flin Flon
he's gotta be.
of all time?
He's got to be. Let's see what the drive is from Winnipeg to get to Flin Flon. That's a 7-hour and 45-minute drive to get from Flin Flon all the way down to Winnipeg. You want to go to Edmonton from there? Well, that's going to run you a little bit. That'll run you 10 hours.
Population 5,185.
I know, we were talking about it yesterday. It's incredible.
Holy cow.
So I had an idea for Jeff during the summer months that maybe a road destination to get to know the people of Flin Flon, I think would be a great summer task for him to do and to go up there and just see where it was about and where he was raised at.
The notable people section of Flin Flon has a very strong hockey flavor.
I bet. I'm sure.
Not a lot else has been exported there except for actor Jared Abrahamson.
I don't know him. Do you know him, Shark? You're looking.
Never heard.
No, never heard of Jared Abrahamson.
Well, he's a Canadian actor.
From Flin Flon.
He's from Flin Flon.
All right, nice.
He's known for his performance in the 2016 film Hello, Destroyer.
Yeah, no, don't got it.
For which he was nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for Best Actor.
All right,
and he
good
won
for
the
him.
award.
Good for him.
For Best Actor in a Canadian film at the Vancouver Film Critics Circle Awards in 2016.
See, the more you know. He learns something new on the show every day. France 3, USA nothing yesterday. On the soccer pitch, listen, it's a U23 team with 3 veterans. I'm not worried about it. France is loaded, right? Like their youth team that they sent there, their U23 teams they're the best in the world.
And it's actually like an accomplishment for the United States to actually have a men's team back in the Olympics.
Yeah, for sure. It's been since 2012, I think, since we've qualified for the Olympics. So it's been a little bit of time.
Notable misfires in the development program. So, it's just good to have them back on the stage, and maybe getting some of these reps and experience will be beneficial down the road.
Rugby yesterday in sevens, USA tied France 12-12. Also then got hammered by Fiji yesterday, 38-12. They actually play here in 1 hour's time against Uruguay. That is a 9 a.m. start for them. Liga MX last night in the All-Star Game 4, MLS 1. Cucho scored a goal. Columbus put on a show. There were 21,000 people over at Lower.com Field. It's great. Who cares about the result?
Nobody. I don't.
I don't either. I don't care about that at all. As far as today goes, I told you about the rugby in sevens against Uruguay coming up at 9 a.m. U.S. women's national team takes on Zambia at 3 o'clock.
Now, this is the real deal. This is the team that counts. They need a result in that game.
After especially, too, I mean, their World Cup disaster.
Yeah.
Debacle.
This is the real one. There's no U23. The women have the spotlight on this. They need to perform. And they need to start with 3 points.
Absolutely, man. So you were at Big Ten Media Days.
I was.
And you loved every second of it.
No, that's not true.
DeSean Foster, who is UCLA's head coach, can you preface this the same way? Because we did this in the 6 o'clock hour again, Austin. Every coach that gets up there, whether you prepare for a 15 to 20-minute filibuster, whether you go out there and just do an opening statement and then open up the floor to 10 minutes of questions, there's always some sort, or even you pull the Urban Meyer card and say, Coach, your opening statement.
Straight to questions.
Straight to questions. Like you can go a lot of different routes. This was not the case with DeSean Foster.
Yeah, you have really an infinite amount of options in front of you if you want to do this. Mostly what they like to do, coaches come up. This is the 15-minute podium session that's on TV. This is made specifically for BTN and the television networks to take. Most reporters don't want to ask a question in this setting. They're saving that for the 1 hour that we get later. Those are called the breakout sessions. That's really where you're trying to get into the nitty-gritty. So most coaches have figured that out. They can say whatever they want. If they want to talk about grade point average of their team, cool. If they want to talk about collective work and NIL opportunities on their campus, make a recruiting pitch, cool, do that too.
The 3 guys who you have chosen to represent your university and your program there.
That's the most common approach is you say, well, I've brought these players with me today. They are wonderful men. You should have your daughters marry this person. This other guy, he's going to be the president of the United States. I can't wait for you to get to know my team. And then if you don't take that approach, you can also take a Jim Tressel or Brett Bielema approach. He's been doing this for a long time. He goes through the roster position by position, and he filibusters the whole time, takes no questions. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. You have all of those options. You know you're going to do it. This is the 15 minutes that you actually get to control if you are the coach of a program.
So with that being said, this is the second time we've listened to this today. I don't want to listen to it anymore.
You have to.
I have to listen to it.
I caught the live act.
It actually makes my skin crawl.
I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting 2 great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
I can't listen to it again, I don't think.
Sure you can.
Imagine.
We're going to listen to it every day. We're going to do it again tomorrow.
Just put the shoe on the opposite foot, whether you're a Buckeye fan or not. Imagine you're a fan of UCLA, and DeSean Foster takes over the job. We know their old head coach, Chip Kelly, he's here now. He's in Ohio State. You're going to a new conference. This is the first time that you've really had an opportunity outside of, spring practice press conferences and everything that you're doing in the offseason. I mean, this is the first time that the Big Ten media, the Big Ten Network is getting to know you. And again, it's 15 minutes. It's not the biggest deal in the world. You can go up there and filibuster for 15. Just talk about your roster. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of UCLA's roster. Go out there and talk about your guys, your expectations. You're coming off an 8-5 season. You won a bowl game. You beat USC at the end of the year last year. Great. Like, that's good. Go up there and start talking about we share the same city as USC. We're excited.
He said we're in L.A.
That's what the LA stands for after UC. It was as bad as you can possibly comprehend. And I know he went on. He talked to Scott Docterman after this at The Athletic. He's like, listen, I just wanted the media members to get to know me, and if they had any questions, great for me. Then just skip the niceties and go straight to the questions.
I mock the Big Ten commissioner address almost every year because they start by talking about television ratings for women's basketball. They talk about all the championships they won in the other sports. Kevin Warren once gave a history lesson about the Big Ten being founded. Listen, your audience, there are 150 members of the media who cover college football in the Big Ten. We don't need you to explain geography or history. We're there to talk about football.
Hey, do you guys know where Flin Flon, Manitoba? If he went out and said, listen, there's this place called Flin Flon, Manitoba. All right, that's 7 hours north of Winnipeg.
I would have been intrigued. I'd been, where are we going with this?
Right.
Not, we're in L.A.
You ever heard of it?
So is USC.
You ever heard of it, honey? Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive.
So is USC. Like, you just casually throwing, like, imagine if Ryan Day had gone to Big Ten Media Days for the first time, like, we're in Columbus, Ohio. It's the capital of the Buckeye state. We share a border with Michigan. That's our rival.
Our main economic drivers, Chase Bank and Nationwide Insurance.
A lot of Fortune 500 companies in Columbus.
We're a great test market.
Airport's named after an astronaut.
Man, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And then they're talking.
And I'm excited. You can tell by my voice, I'm excited.
So then he's talking about USC. By the way, Lincoln Riley doesn't get off scot-free in this either, because after his 15-minute podium session, he was talking in the roundtable or the breakout session, as you guys like to call them. Mm-hmm. He was talking to Connor Morissette, who's a senior staff writer at USCFootball.com. Lincoln Riley said he would love to keep the Notre Dame game alive, but says that if he eliminates the game that would help USC win a national championship, they would look at it. What are you not getting about rivalry games and being in the Big Ten? You already tried to duck out of the LSU game. That game's going to happen week number 1 of the season. You're joining the Big Ten. You got to play a Big Ten schedule this year. And oh yeah, by the way, if we can eliminate our natural rivalry game, our biggest rivalry game, we're going to do that. Why would you, even if you have a thought that might be something on the table, why would you say that?
It also doesn't help you win a national championship by softening your schedule. The wins and losses are going to be there. I understand that generally the College Football Playoff Selection Committee does only focus on that number that's in the right-hand column. So if you can dodge one of those, it may help you get there. But once you get there, you have to beat 3 really good football teams, maybe 4. Mm-hmm. It might actually help you get into the field if you're, let's say, USC's looking at 7-5 this year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who they play, really. But you are not going to be able to schedule your way to a national championship because this is not the era of the BCS and 2 teams. That's not going to be even the playoff era where we got into this debate over 4 and 5, and if it was a 1-loss team or a 2-loss team or something, those days are gone. You need to play games that matter because also you have to be able to turn around and pay players through the broadcast deal. And if you've decided that you don't want to continue some of the most historic rivalries in college football to get to the playoff, you're not going to have any players on your roster.
I think Lincoln Riley's comments are worse than DeSean Foster's. Because there was some actual thought about that, and then trying to duck out of a rivalry game is as bad as it gets. That's as bad as it gets.
Well, probably because I think you might be right, because DeSean Foster did not think about what he was going to say.
But that's fine.
Which is a problem in itself.
Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't even know where I'm going with it.
That's exactly what happened to him, and that's fine. That's been known to. Lincoln Riley had obviously thought about this because he was willing to publicly say, I don't want to play Notre Dame. They're too hard for me. I ran away from Oklahoma because they were joining the SEC. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get away from another SEC team in LSU. I couldn't do it. But if I can take one more step and dodge Notre Dame, I'll do it. I will take any shortcut that's available to me because I'm Lincoln Riley. And I actually was born on third base with that program that I inherited, and I've accomplished nothing since then. I can't win a playoff game, and I don't even want to win hard regular season games.
I don't even know if they're going to get into the play. They're not going to get into the playoffs.
Well, they're not this year.
No, they're not. One Buckeye felt like they led the city down with their losses to Michigan. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, the southbound lanes of 23 are still shut down in Circleville. This is just past 22. Note that if you're heading south this morning, also a crash on I-270 eastbound right at State Route 3, Westerville Road, that has the right lane blocked. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Find great prices on summer favorites this week at Meijer. Get fresh local blueberries for $1.49 and Meijer chips 3 for $5. Plus, the 7 for $7 sale is back. Mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more. Eckrich hot dogs, Meijer ketchup, and select Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable. To round out your summer cookout, shop low Meijer prices and the 7 for $7 sale this week only. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in store or in the Meijer app.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, 2 windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, sure is a hot day. The other one says, a talking window.
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Roof leaks and damage can ruin your business and your reputation. Property management pros trust Legacy Roofing Services, Ohio's leader in commercial roof repair, replacement, and ongoing maintenance. At Legacy, our reputation for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent roofing services for commercial buildings can solve your roofing problems before they become roofing nightmares. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now. And? No, and just half.
What? Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half. I could probably bump it up to like 50%. Just go. Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Hey, Ohio! Grab the whole family and head to the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th. Experience the food, entertainment, hands-on activities, livestock animals, and so much more. Tickets on sale now at ohiostatefair.com.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Turning sunny this afternoon with a 20% chance of a pop-up shower. High 84. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. Going 84 on your Friday under sunny skies. Sunny and toasty on your Saturday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment around 15 minutes from now, 8:35. Berm, he's going to join the program. I'm just trying to think. So we usually have Albert Breer on, MMQB, in our last segment on Thursdays around 8:05. Now, we didn't get to talk to him today because he is out in the city of Los Angeles, which houses UCLA and USC.
Both, yeah.
Houses both of them. He was actually at the press conference yesterday of Jim Harbaugh. I don't know who had a more eventful day. Like DeSean Foster, I get, he said, I'm not that big of a talker, guys. I just kind of bombed for a minute. Like, that's okay. That happens. In the moment, it makes my skin crawl. It's bad, but people will get over that. Lincoln Riley saying that you're going to dodge Notre Dame if it means that you could win a national championship or would help you, which doesn't even make any sense in the current landscape of college football. 4-team playoff, okay, maybe I could get there. 2-team playoff in the BCS, sure, understand that. You go undefeated, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to get in a 2-team playoff in the championship game than not. Jim Harbaugh yesterday saying that, yeah, first day of camp, it's like being born. It's like coming out of the womb. Bright lights, a lot of noises, a lot of lights on. He won the day of crazy LA coaches.
Now, I think that he used to say this at Michigan like every year at Big Ten Media Days. I don't think it's the first time he said it. I know I've heard him say it before. I don't know if he said it every year.
Oh, he's pulling it back?
He's bringing it back for the NFL audience. And that, I think, makes it even creepier. He's tried it out before. He's like, again, maybe he just has a fantastic memory and he does remember what that experience was like. I don't personally. I don't know anybody who does. I think you're supposed to not remember it because it's pretty traumatic and stressful.
I don't remember anything before like 6.
Yeah. That's a nice little buffer there from saying that it was warm and cozy in the womb.
On the actual basis of him saying that, it's a psychotic thing to say.
He says it all the time. I think there's only 10 things that are in his brain ever. And he all he can do is reuse them.
It's good to see he hasn't lost his fastball.
Yeah.
Going back to the NFL.
That's the best one. I used to try this out in Indy. It killed.
Let me bring it back.
Boy, the people would be laughing nervously, and I could tell that they loved it. I'm going to see what the NFL media thinks about me saying that the start of training camp is the day I was born.
He's still zany. Good for him.
He should have just go full on with it, Jim Harbaugh. He should have been out there naked. Yeah. Put a diaper on me. Let's get this. People are yelling at me.
Well, now he can't do that to woo recruits to his house, so that'll be fine.
Ooh, buddy.
Jack Sawyer, not yesterday.
He did not say that the start of training camp.
No, he didn't say that. Jack Sawyer was pretty open and honest. And we had him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He's a very good human being, young man to talk to. Great representative of the city. Shark, you got to be on the dump button when Jack is on. He likes to drop a few S-bombs in there. And I thought he was pretty open and transparent that he felt like the team last year not only let Ryan Day down, but let the entire city of Columbus down.
You know, when my class gets there, it kind of reverses. And I think for me, you know, being the type of guy I am, I think naturally I felt like, you know, I let not only Ryan Day down, but I let, you know, the city down. And so for me, it's all about coming back. And a lot of us, we all feel the same way too, is that we weren't going to leave here without having one more shot at doing this the right way and leaving here better than what we came here for. So, you know, I'd be lying if I told you that it didn't burn a fire inside of us. So, you know, definitely something that we think about, and we know what's at stake when we play those guys. You know, all of our goals and aspirations for the season rides on that one game in November. And, you know, they hate us, we hate them. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way we want it to be. So that's what makes that rivalry so fun. And, you know, we're just looking forward to that game this year.
Yeah, for sure. It was very open and honest and transparent. Not only did I let my coach down, I feel like I let the entire city down. And that was the impetus, big reason why we decided we had unfinished business that we want to come back. I think it was a huge reason for then guys waterfalling and then following him in his decision to then come back for their last year with the Buckeyes.
Even though that this has been going on for 3 years now, the way that question was asked still just like caused a double take. It was, what would it mean to get a set of gold pants? Not like to win another, not to continue the like
set.
Jack Sawyer, Emeka Ibuka, Denzel Burke, the guys that were there, the senior class, they've never won the game. They've never got that piece of jewelry that until 2000, the entirety of my time covering Ohio State, they'd never lost the game. We would have those conversations on Football Friday right before the game. What score would I pick? There was never any reason for me to pick against Ohio State because I said, until they lose, I'm not ever going to pick against them. I'd never seen it happen. Now it's happened 3 times in a row. Jack Sawyer was talking about that, thinking about when he committed, coming into the program, the dominance that Ohio State had established in the rivalry. It's all gone. And we can talk about some of the reasons that it may, you know, you can put an asterisk on 2 of them. It doesn't matter. Those guys played in the game and came up short. And that's what, like, they're not going to say, well, Connor Stallions was around. Well, here's a set of gold pants just for being part of the rivalry. Like, that's not, they don't want that. And they want to do this the right way, as Jack Sawyer said. So that's been a huge motivation, and they've taken accountability for that. The players are not solely to blame here. When he says that he lets Ryan Day down, Ryan Day is also talking about putting people in the right seats, right guys, not just on the field, but on the coaching staff as well. But that, I think, should be one of the most encouraging parts of the offseason if you're an Ohio State fan. Like, there's no deflection about it. There's no excuse making. They didn't talk.
They're eating it.
They're not talking about Connor Stallions. They're not talking about being close. They're not talking about, you know, there's even no more like, well, 1 play or 2 plays away. Like, we were really close. We feel good about it, and we just need to correct those things. Like, Ryan Day's approach to that was different on Tuesday as well, which was leave no doubt. Don't let it come down to 1 play or 2 plays. So I think that stuff should be encouraging for Ohio State fans. It doesn't guarantee anything, but I think the shift in mentality is notable and sets the table for them to do the things they want.
And also, too, a guy who was not shying away from some of his words, Denzel Burke, on the main reason why he came back.
Just kind of put it out there just to kind of get the younger guys, the transfers, to understand that I ain't come back for no BS. We're here to win it all, and we're going to need everybody, and we got to hold each other accountable, and every game is a matchup game this year, and no matter who we're playing, and it's our job to just take them out and dominate.
I thought that was the best answer out of any of the audio coming from the players from media days, was him bluntly saying, I ain't come back for any BS. I came back to win a natty.
Yeah, the guys that are setting the tone for this team, and they could have taken more than just those 3 if they were allowed.
Yeah.
Like, there were other candidates.
Probably 10 to 12 guys.
Yeah. JT, Donovan Jackson, they were, Cody Simon, those Lathan Ransom, those guys were all pointed out by the 3 that were there. It's like, this is a pretty big honor because there are tons of other people who would be spokesmen and are leaders on that team. That leadership council was bursting with dudes who would echo that. But, laying it out, you've seen the way this offseason has progressed for Ohio State. Quiet on the outside, a lot of noise going on with those workouts and all the preparation inside the Woody. But the fact that you're not hearing some of the outside distractions, again, another thing that's pointing in the right direction. They get back on the field next Thursday, and then they play a game at the end of August. But all you can do is control the way the offseason played out, and I think it's been a pretty big success.
Berm, freshly back from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis. He's going to drop his wisdom with us coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching a closure in Circleville. 23 is shut down just past 22. Again, all lanes going south. And here in the metro, I-270 eastbound, watching a crash that has the right lane blocked right near State Route 3, Westerville Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Valley Ford of Columbus is proud to announce the grand opening of their new commercial truck center. Centrally located off I-270, the new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center features expert sales, service, and parts for your business. Choose from over 300 commercial trucks and vans ready for delivery right now. From the area's best selection of transit vans, E-Series, Super Duty, light duty pickups, and more. It's all at Valley, including Ford E-Transit vans too. Need upfits? In-stock specialty upfits include dump and stake beds, plows, utility beds, lift gates, box and reefer bodies, and much more. The Valley Commercial Truck Team has 50-plus years of commercial sales experience and over $80 million in commercial truck inventory across all locations, with over $1 million in parts inventory at each location. I was in getting my Mustang's oil changed, and I saw some commercial trucks getting serviced at Valley Ford. They take care of you. The new Valley Ford of Columbus Commercial Truck Center on Kime Circle in Hilliard. Online at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Oh, yeah, and if you're not looking for a commercial truck, they've got a ton of F-150s with great financing right now. valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
We don't talk politics on the Fan. We'd rather talk about things that unite us, like the exciting Buckeye season ahead and pizza. How about the rebirth of the Jackets and pizza? Your home of the Buckeyes, Jackets, pizza, and no politics. The Fan.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Underneath our red awning at Sheets, we make the magic happen. So when you visit our new location in Columbus, go ahead and get a little crazy, like adding mop sticks as a burger topping, or putting espresso in your milkshake, or picking up $65 worth of fried food curbside at 2 a.m. 24/7, 365. Sheets, located at 4881 Roberts Road in Columbus, is ready to serve you what you're really craving. Why the Sheets not make a convenience store your new favorite hangout spot?
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
It's a great feeling doing business means we're one of the highest rated nationally in customer service. We have one of the largest selections of Hondas, and we make service simple with car convenience and mobile service, all while serving Central Ohio for over 30 years. John Hinderer Honda, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererHonda.com. Open Sundays.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Brandon B. Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. All Thursday edition of the program. Right now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with our great friend of the podcast. He is Berm. Berm, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. How are travels back from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis? All right?
Wonderful. Well, travels home from Indianapolis are always significantly better than travels to Indianapolis.
I mean, I'm just picking up. Can you confirm the story with Austin and the fact that the new Colts field at Lucas Oil Stadium is some sort of mixture of coconut husks and cork? Can you confirm that, Berm?
I can. My shoes are ruined, but they smell great.
Do they? Mine are just dirty. It's poopy.
Yeah, I don't know if they smell great. I didn't smell my own shoes, but I know they're ruined.
It's a joke. I really think that in 2 weeks, when the Colts play their first preseason game there, people are going to be outraged at seeing, like, why are these jerseys so filthy? They look like they soiled themselves.
If we can be the bearers of bad news for the Colts, I'm willing to do it. You know, like, I would like to have a conversation with Peyton Manning or whoever's in charge over there now.
Jim Irsay owes me a new pair of On Clouds. Berm, what was the most interesting thing you heard from the Buckeyes?
I don't know that there was one thing. It was just an attitude, just a different vibe, man. They just feel like they're like very at peace. Like, you know, the last couple of years after the Michigan losses, it was like, oh, we're going to get them. This is our year. That we can't, like, they think like this is what it is. We know what is expected. It just feels much more business-like. And even though none of the guys were like afraid to be vulnerable or opening up about their feelings, it just didn't seem like it was emotional. It seemed like it was just very matter of fact. Like, this is why we're here. This is what we need to do. And I just think that's, I don't know if it was a word or a sentence or a phrase other than Ryan Day's leave no doubt thing that he said, talking with us on Tuesday morning, saying, hey, we can't even have close games. And Jack Sawyer basically backed that by saying there shouldn't be a game that comes down to one play or even one score. So there's just a different confidence and a different, focus, I guess.
Berm, Buckeyes start training camp next Thursday. We're 1 week away from that. I think they take the field at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So literally almost directly 1 week away from that. Before we get going on training camp, is there anything that they need to accomplish here in this next week, recruiting-wise, or any other thing before they set their sights on what is going to be hopefully a long run in the 2024 season?
No, I mean, in a somewhat, I guess I'll just call it what it is, what I think anyway. I think it's a little bit of an odd decision. The Buckeyes are not opening up campus this weekend for any, recruiting event. Most of the schools around the country, the high-level programs are holding barbecues or cookouts or some sort of event this weekend because you do have a small open window up on the recruiting trail to bring players back into campus for one more time. The Buckeyes are opting not to do that, so nothing really happens on the recruiting trail for them until, we see a string of commitments at the last 2 weeks of August. Joshua Petty, who's an offensive tackle from Georgia, is on August 12th. David Sanders, the five-star offensive tackle from North Carolina, is August 17th. Phillip Bell, wide receiver from California, will be either August 25th or the August 30th. And then there's Messiah Delhomme, who's a safety from Virginia, will also commit at the end of August. And that group is pretty much going to be it for Ohio State until they can take a step back and evaluate senior film for players around the country. So they're pretty much done other than that group. And I'm a little surprised they're not using this opportunity this weekend to do something around the state with top in-state kids, top 2026s and 27s, but they've decided, hey, let's let our players go home and spend their final time with their families. We need to focus on getting ready for the season and not worrying about recruiting. So they're taking it easy on that front. Now, maybe, I don't want to say that. They're not taking it easy. They're taking a different approach.
When you say that group represents like most of the work there's already a huge number of commitments in the fold for Ohio State. What do you think that the final size of this class will be?
I mean, they've already got 24. So if you look at those four guys, I don't think they'll get Josh Petty. I think they are in a good position for the others. That takes you to, if they were able to land David Sanders, Messiah Delhomme, and Phillip Bell, that takes you to 27. But they would still, at that point, prefer to add at least one more offensive lineman if they could. They would like to add another defensive tackle if they could. and they would like to add another wide receiver even beyond that, or a wide receiver / running back combo. So you could see this class stretch to 30, which is a whole different ball of wax for what we've seen from Ohio State, especially under Ryan Day.
He is Berm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I saw this came down yesterday, Berm, and I just wonder, from an Ohio State perspective, how this is going to affect them. So beginning the 25-26 academic year, that rosters are going to be different. Now, we know that Ohio State and all of the schools across the NCAA currently have a roster scholarship restriction of 85 is the current number. That's being bumped up to 105, so an additional 20 roster spots. In your perspective, I mean, the king of recruiting and everything that goes into building these roster for future years, how do Mark Pantoni and Ryan Day kind of sit down and navigate this change and structural difference in roster size?
I think that's one of the great questions heading into the next year, because there's at least some thought that players, let's say, we'll just pull Will Howard out of ether as a guy that we'll use for this example. Like, why does he need to be on scholarship? You know what I mean? Like, if he's coming in and making, if anywhere near the reported amount of money that people are saying from an NIL perspective, does he need to be on scholarship? But now you don't have to answer that question, because if you have 105, you're going to be able to really balance out the roster. I'm not sure ultimately that it's going to matter much, because it's just maybe once you get to the lower quarter, lower fifth of the roster, maybe it's just taking guys that were red shirts or walk-ons and adding them as scholarship players, because I don't think the players around the country are still going to choose to be player 103 at Ohio State if they could be player 36 somewhere else. So I don't know, to be honest, and I don't want to speculate too much because this is all so new, but I would imagine that it's going to be a game changer for a lot of programs. I don't think it will impact the lower levels of college football at all, because those schools are still going to be scraping by and trying to fight and claw to get any commitments if the big boys want them. So it does change things quite a bit.
From there, we go into training camp next week. A week from now, there's not a ton of uncertainty with some position battles. Like, this depth chart from the outside seems about as clear cut as it could be. We know that there are a few that will play out throughout August. Did you find out anything or just pick up any insight from Ryan Day about some guys contending that maybe we're not thinking enough about right now?
I mean, certainly the words Carson Hinsman came out of Ryan Day's mouth pretty quickly, multiple times on his media and his podium session, and while he was sitting doing his hour-long, reiteration of everything. That's something to pay attention to. I think maybe there was an assumption made that the battle at right guard would be a Tegra Shabola and Luke Montgomery battle, and now I think Carson Hinsman is probably the guy to look at there, maybe as the favorite, just based on how quickly and how regularly his name was uttered by Ryan Day. And other than that, I think the one area where I've had questions is, how do you know who your fourth wide receiver is behind Emeka Egbuka, Jeremiah Smith, and Carnell Tate? And the way that Ryan Day talked about Brandon Ennis made me feel pretty confident that he knows that it's Brandon Ennis. And so now you look for the guys beyond that. But as you said, there's not a lot of questions about this roster. The biggest question nationally will be who's Ohio State's quarterback, but and the idea that if you don't have one, then you don't have one. If you don't know who it is, then it's a bad sign. And I think Ohio State does know who the quarterback is. I think that we will probably find that out sooner than we have in recent years. But they're going to go into it, and until Will Howard steps out in the field during a game and proves it, there's going to be people clamoring for Devin Brown or Julian Sain or Lincoln Keith Holtz and asking questions because of the way things went last year.
How much did you miss Jim Harbaugh at Media Days, Berm?
Not at all.
I just saw that he doubled down on his from the womb comments, and Austin said that he had broke that out at Big Ten Media Days. So I didn't know if he was testing it out for a new audience or how much you missed him.
No, but did you see the sign in the Chargers facilities where the final words are "We're all on third base. We're all on third base now. Let's bring it home for the score." Like, he's just a weird dude, man.
See, that's what I said. Berm, he only knows 10 slogans, and he just repeats them. He may have to repurpose the third base one because now he wants to be, heading for home. But whatever. He's so bizarre.
Yeah, he's weird. You know what else is weird? I had a dream last night where I was asked to write a lovely eulogy for Ellie Kemper.
Really?
And I was like, what the hell? I woke up and I was like, yeah. I had to check the phone right away. I was like, okay, she's still alive. That's cool.
Thank goodness.
I really liked you. I really liked you, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I mean, what were you drinking before bed?
No, nothing. I mean, I think that's the problem.
He had to rehydrate because they again ran out of water at Big Ten Media Days.
By like 1:30 on a Tuesday. How do you run out of water at 1:30 on a Tuesday?
A duck was taking up so much room in the river from it, Berm.
No, I think the answer is that the sandwiches were so dry that everyone there had to drink 17 or 18 waters to catch up.
That's right.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you out at camp next week, all right?
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you.
There he goes. Berm, the podcast with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now in Circleville, southbound lanes of 23 back open after being shut down because of a crash. Right now we are still watching, though, a crash on I-270 eastbound on the north side. This is right near Westerville Road. Watch for the right lanes blocked over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
It's time to start saving with deals for days at Giant Eagle and Market District. From the everyday essentials to your must-have branded favorites, Deals for Days has low prices on more than 1,000 items across the store. Don't delay. These discounted prices on your go-to groceries will only be available for a limited time. Learn more about Deals for Days at GiantEagle.com or dive into savings today at your local Giant Eagle or Market District.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Hello, loyal listener. Make sure to spend your summer with the Fan. Are you going on a road trip? Don't suffer through the bad playlists and hillbilly radio stations. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here for my friends at RCD RV. Remember your favorite summer vacation as a kid? Well, I sure do, and I can tell you those memories will last forever. And there is still time to create those memories with your family when you visit the fine people at RCD RV. You can literally go anywhere in an RV. The mountains, the lake, road trip of a lifetime. RCD has over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock, something for every budget. Visit them at one of their 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sunshine will return this afternoon. Temperatures and humidity levels will be much lower. We're looking at a high around 84 today. Tonight, look for clear skies with a low of 62. And on your Friday, look for sunny skies with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Wrapping things up here. Little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Austin Ward, Mark the Shark. No Uncle Bo today. Friend Zone edition of the program. DeVere Posey in with the boys as well. They'll be on from 9 to noon. Talk a little Platinum Joe Burrow. They're going to speak to Paul Feinbaum coming up here at 10:33 as well. So Big Ten Media Day is going on. Paul Feinbaum, the voice of the South. All kinds of good stuff coming up from those guys. I was looking at the Big Ten Media Day schedule. Austin for today, 11:30 a.m. Dan Lanning getting ready to take the podium. Interested to see Dan Lanning, and then also interested to see Washington and Jedd Fisch, because the first 2 prongs of the new Big Ten did not go necessarily great. I'm hoping for the Pacific Northwest edition that the team located in Eugene, Oregon, and the team located in Seattle, Washington, will have better days than their other comrades did.
We could still make it there, Beam. I mean, I've got the credential. We can get in. I think maybe it'd be important to just get over there, drive over real quick, and say, listen, Dan, Jedd, I got a couple tips for you. Been covering this event a long time. We don't need you to describe the geography of where your campus is.
I'd love for Dan Lanning to get out there and just describe like cranberry bogs. Like, see, that would be fascinating to me. Or these things called like wolf spiders in the cranberry bogs.
Hey, Ohio State beat. I know you were looking forward to a visit out there, a couple years ago.
Yep.
You had to cancel your plans. You didn't get to see Outson Stadium. You didn't know where the hotels were to stay, maybe. You didn't get to experience it. Here's my recommendations.
Be great.
Like, that's what you need. If you're going to talk about Eugene and know your audience, be like, hey, this guy over here, he has a thing called road beers. Eugene has this spot to drink. You're going to love it.
We still went in 2020.
How are your lungs?
Terrible. I've told you this story before. Like, even if COVID wasn't a thing, that game wasn't going to be played in Eugene because of the wildfires. So we went to this brewery. I forget what it was called. We went to a couple of them in Eugene. They sold this pretzel, Austin, that was like as big as, if you're watching on the YouTube machine, I've got this board next to me. It was like as big as this board.
You're going to need to tell me where that was.
I will. I'll for sure. I'll let you know. I'll find that out. It's a really cool town. Really cool city is Eugene. But you're right. Like, go out there and do that. After Dan Lanning today, you get PJ Fleck, which is always he's always a crowd pleaser for sure.
I did find out at Big Ten Media. Like, I love when I get some of the insight, which is that PJ Fleck would go in to the media cooler, and he would take a Sierra Mist and a Diet Pepsi and mix them together.
Interesting.
I'd never seen that done before.
Weird combo.
It was super weird.
Yeah, interesting.
I'd be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the answers that you can get today. So he goes...
well, I can't. I'm here now.
Well, we're going to go over there after the show. What are you talking about?
That's right. I forgot.
So he's at 11:45. Mike Loxley in Maryland at noon. Maryland starts off like 6-0, 5-0 every year, and then they finish at like 7-5. So maybe this is the year that they break on through to the other side. You get Washington and Jedd Fisch at 12:15 today. Jedd Fisch, interesting. Obviously, coming over from Arizona, we know that Kalen DeBoer took a pretty big job down in Alabama, so replacing him. Coming off a national championship game, too. Roster management, like, that'll be fascinating to me. Curt Cignetti, what he said about Purdue in his like introductory presser, and then followed that up and said Ohio State and Michigan both suck as well. Like, yeah, I don't know. You might want to walk that one back. I know you're super pumped to take over the Hoosiers, and then Sharon Moore gets ready to take the podium at 12:45.
I talked to a couple of people who cover Indiana earlier in the week. I was like, what's been like there? You know, when we talk about doing our jobs, like there's a new coach, like what are you expecting? Yeah. And they're like, well, Kurt Cignetti said he's not going to let his assistants talk for the entire season. Like, that's good. I was like, man, wrong foot, buddy. You don't understand where you are.
You're at Indiana.
You need as much attention as you can possibly bring to your program. And talking trash about Ohio State and Michigan and Purdue is one way to get it.
I think they play, if I'm correct, the last 3 games of their schedule is Ohio State, Michigan, and Purdue.
And I mean,
and they're not going to be 9-0 by the time that they get there. And if they are, what a season he's had. And the employment of the strategy of not letting his assistant coaches talk.
Yeah, well, then you can do whatever you want if you go succeed in year one, and if the Hoosiers go to a bowl game, like, oh, this guy does it, he has control of the program. That's not a great way to bring exposure to your program. And I don't understand this impulse to control that. What damage is going to be done? I think as well, it's going to be embarrassing for him, because I personally believe that Indiana is going to be the worst team in the Big Ten.
Ooh!
Purdue, Doug Lesmerises, who put this together for Kings of the North, Purdue finished 18th out of 18th. You know, Ryan Walters actually was talking about that on Tuesday. He's like 18 out of 18, and we'll put that up there, and we're going to try our best to go do something about it, which is it was the right approach.
Yep.
He responded to it the right way. I think that Indiana will be worse than not just Purdue, definitely Michigan, without a question, Ohio State, but everybody else in the Big Ten as well.
He's not going to like that.
Well, I guess I'll have to, in 3 hours, we'll go sort it out face to face.
Before we get out of here today, our daily fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. What's your favorite event to watch if you're non-communist Austin Ward who doesn't watch any of the Olympic events? To watch during the Summer Olympics? Track and field, swimming, gymnastics, or other. Track and field leading the way, swimming second, other at 23%, and then gymnastics at 15%. Nice even split. If you had to watch one event, I know you're not watching any, what would be your favorite?
Liberty wants to watch Simone Biles. She learned a lot about, I think there was like multiple week education segment on her in first grade last year. She's all in on Simone Biles. Seems like it could be a better opportunity for her than 4 years ago or 3 or whenever it was because of COVID 3 years ago. So probably gymnastics. The things that she does when she is at her peak are like inhuman.
We've never seen it in human history.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a video of her on the vault today. It's like, this is the toughest vault that has ever been done in the history of the world.
And she's just like, huh.
And that was in practice. It wasn't even a real session. Buddy had a great time today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow if they allow us? You good with that?
I'll be here.
Everybody have a great day. No Uncle Bo today. Friend Zone edition to the program with DeVere Posey coming up next. We are back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching crews clear up a crash on the north side of town on I-270 eastbound. This is right at State Route 3, Westerville Road. We've got the right lanes blocked as crews work to clear up a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Olympic Games from Paris has opening ceremonies tomorrow. The United States is minus 550 to end up with the most gold medals. China is second at plus 350. Then a huge drop-off in the odds, and you get Great Britain at 42-1, Japan 55-1, and France 80-1. To end up with the most medals of any kind in the Olympics, the United States is a huge minus 2,000 favorite. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.